All right.
Y'all know that reference?
I'll do that. We'll do this first, and then we'll jump into the video.
Come on, man. What the fuck is that? What the fuck?
Are we live now?
We should be live. I can't read chat.
Opening. I can read chat. You only have 2 monitors? I expected you to have like 5.
I'm not Nolan.
To be completely honest. Well, I know you're not Nolan. You're like more than Nolan. Like, why do you not have more than Nolan? Is what I'm saying.
Because I've never had need.
What's up? Are we live? Or are we playing? What's happening?
I think we should be live. Yeah, we're ready to go.
Tweet or retweet or something.
I'm trying to get Discord up on Twitch on my phone.
Hi.
Let's see.
Are we gonna record Trailer Talk?
No.
Not Trailer Talk, but we'll record the podcast segment later.
There we go. Okay, and then this, but I need... Come on. Oh, fuck off, ad.
I thought you had ad blockers out the ad.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Not on my phone.
Oh. I was gonna say, this don't work without ad blockers. You been playing anything, Crispy?
Just a shit ton of Destiny.
Which we still don't have footage of.
Oh, you were supposed to give us footage of Destiny. That's all right.
Shikuski, we might talk about Fallout tonight. We might.
Oh shit.
What?
Oh shit.
Y'all want to have me on the podcast to talk about Goat Simulator? 1.
Hell yeah.
Tell me more about Ghost Simulator.
Well, did I tell y'all last week that it's a pretty goofy sandboxy thing, right? Where you're playing as a goat and you can just be a crazy goat and headbutt people and shit as a goat.
Yeah.
But you can also unlock crazy things. Like one of the things he likes in this newer one is it's like a rocket launcher, but it shoots fireworks that the firework attaches to a person or an object and shoots up into the sky and the fireworks go off and he just loves it. But he found a portal. Yeah, maybe I told y'all this, or maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. He found a portal and he's like, look what happens when I jump through the portal. And he jumps into the portal and out jumps a guy. And now he's just a guy wearing all the stuff that his goat was wearing. And now just this guy is going around shooting all these people. And instead of a headbutt, he's just punching people. And he's just shooting rockets at people. I'm like, you're just playing GTA now as a 6-year-old. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to put a stop to this because this seems crazy. You can't just be a guy. It's okay when you're a goat, but a guy, this is over the top. What is happening? Just play the fucking trailer. Who are we waiting on? I want to see this trailer.
Okay, give me. All right, sure. All right, ready?
You're gonna have to call. Wait.
I don't know what's happening.
Wait, we're just getting into it. Is that what's happening?
This is go. This is supposed to be casual.
This is it.
How many trailers do we have?
So many, plenty. We have more than we need. Just let's punch it.
All right.
Ooh, we're gonna start.
Oh.
It's like we're killing time to start the part where we kill time. I mean, let's go.
All right. We're playing.
So casual. I don't know.
What's up, Ravixie? Trailer talk. We're doing it live.
There was a new Final Shape trailer this week, and it was kind of cool.
All right, I'll throw on the Final Shape.
Add that to the list. I don't know about y'all. I can't hear the trailer.
I can hear it.
You can hear it? What the fuck is wrong with mine?
I just heard beeps and loops.
I don't hear anything.
Maybe you have it turned down and
Oh wait. Oh, never mind. I figured it out. I'm dumb.
Chat, how's the audio bounce?
I figured it out. We're good.
What is this game?
Indica.
This is on Nick's list.
Indica?
Indica.
No,
Crispy
it's
knows all
Indica,
about
whatever.
Indica.
It's
Whatever you
indica. The purplest of the purple.
Hey man, I'm pretty fucking psyched for this game.
This is definitely a game where you get high and play, right? Because it's trippy.
That's sticky icky.
So Nick, let me ask you something. This
Ask
is when
away.
you drafted for
I
Fantasy
didn't
Critic,
draft
and
it.
you know,
I bid on it.
or bid
I
on it.
won.
You
Me
paid
trying
money
to be-
for it.
Me
I
trying
paid
to be
money.
honest, I'm like, Nick, you know, I think this game looks cool, but I think it's a little risky for Open Critic. And you're like, you know what? But I don't care, is what you told me. I've picked with my heart, and I'm sticking with it, which is fine. My
If I
question for
make a
you
list
is like,
with no picks for my heart, like it's not even
no.
fun.
Okay, stop it. You have lists picks from your heart. Stop it. But my question for you is like, have you considered my advice? Like are you still 100% all in on this game,
I am,
or
yeah.
are you like, maybe Brad's right on this one?
No. I think I. Here's the thing. I've already said as much that I'll be satisfied with this
May
if it
2nd?
lands.
That's very soon.
Yeah, I'll be satisfied with
Oh,
this
shit.
if it tops out like an 82. I'll be happy.
Yeah,
I have
Because-
no idea what this game is.
I'm not
supposed
worried
to
about the top. I'm worried about the bottom. Yeah, I mean the trailer itself.
Wait,
wasn't
do we need
the
to
most-
pause and talk about the trailer? Like we didn't really. it was a
Nah, you keep talking about Indica. What? I don't even know what this trailer is.
metaphor.
do. This is-
Oh, that's for a metaphor. You can keep talking about Indica.
I don't know, man. I
I'm
feel like
more
it's
worried
really
about the
picking up
floor.
steam.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. Look, I hope everybody gets their dub. And let's.
Is it a fucking adventure game? Or
It
like
is a
point
it
and
is
click?
it is an adventure puzzle horror game
Whoa.
where you play as a nun who is
Oh,
traveling
this is a video
with
game.
who has the devil is talking to her, and she's
Oh,
traveling with a criminal who claims he can talk to God.
Oh,
So
that's
it's like it's a really cool concept, and it's really fucking weird.
Speaking of cool
Hmm.
concepts,
What is
this
this?
one seems cool. This is
Metaphor
Metaphor.
Refantasio, the game that I really need to get like 110 on Open Critic.
110.
Yeah, we
Why does
got
it look like
110.
Persona? But
Because
it's
it's
made by
from
the
the
Persona
Persona
people.
devs.
It's
yeah.
their
Yeah,
new
this,
jam.
I mean,
Their new
is
jam.
this not
Okay.
is this not a Shin Megami Tensei game?
Is
I don't
Shin
even.
Megami Tensei still a
No,
thing?
it's not.
Or is
So,
it-
this is a new thing. This is action RPG.
Whoa, that looks
Good, because
half action,
Persona
but
combat-
evidently the turn-based gameplay is in there.
Oh,
fucking
so it's like it's a rip off of the new Trails
I don't
Trails game.
That
No, the
feels
new
harsh.
Trails game has real time action combat, and then it eventually triggers into like turn based. It's sort of like you set up battle with the action part, and then it goes into turn based.
I do think one of the coolest things about this game. I mean, obviously art style is a big deal with these games, but like something like when you go to the menus, it looks like parts of the art are like just moving and the rest isn't. I don't know. It's a really weird effect, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's their thing, right? But
I mean,
I'm
cool
just-
art styles are their thing.
well, cool, weird, overdone menus and stuff too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and this is
I'm
the,
What
actually
is that?
excited that this is not just your standard Shin Megami Tensei combat system, because I think that's one of the things that holds back that series for me.
and the
This is the most I've
composer.
seen of this. Oh, go ahead.
The composer is the guy who does the Persona music.
Sure, I mean, it's all
They just
Persona-y.
cut. They told him to just like go wild.
Hey,
Character
I'm gonna be
artists.
honest. This is the most I've seen of this
Refund
game so
Zero.
far, and I think that looks pretty fucking rad.
It is, but the thing is, like, I don't think this is on your points list. But like,
Hey,
I
you
see
can,
this, and I'm
you
like,
can,
I-
you have the power,
I
Brad.
don't
You
know
can,
about that. That throws off the whole balance, though.
ooh, we get to see more.
If I add it, I'm gonna have to raise the ceiling a little bit. I mean,
Dude, this looks good. Something about this is getting like there's certain shots in this trailer that make me think Miyazaki, just like
Miyazaki.
framing.
Hmm.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
really short-lived. Damn.
it's cool. I mean, this definitely looks like a game I'm gonna play for sure.
Hey, I don't know if you heard, but I've played and finished a Persona game now, so you should add it
This
to the
is-
list so I can get points
Yeah,
for
I
it.
know.
Wow.
Wait, we're gonna talk about this
I
next.
added it. Yeah, I did. This is the launch trailer for Eiyuden 100 Heroes. So
How much
Hmm.
have you
On
played?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe this was a bad choice because I do kind of want to save the conversation for the podcast.
You
But
did,
I probably played like 15 hours or so.
Cool.
and it's
We're gonna talk about this in the
amazing.
podcast tonight, guys. So
We
Yeah,
will.
let's
I
save
will
it.
give my impressions on the podcast. I kind of want to see this because I haven't seen the trailer yet.
That's pretty cool though.
It's fully voice acted this game, which is nice because it's.
oh, thank
You
God.
know, it's still kind of a budget like Kickstarter game, right? Like a lot of them, right?
right.
You know, this they don't have Shin Megami Persona money or even like Octopath Traveler money. It's not even close. So
Mhm.
you know,
It's still a good-looking game, though, right?
What?
yeah,
It has
yeah,
Beyblade?
yeah. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, it is a Kickstarter project. You know, this is like the Bloodstained of Suikoden, right?
I think this looks a hell of a lot better than Bloodstained. But
Yeah,
then again,
Bloodstained
I've always had it in for the way Bloodstained looked. I
Well,
hate
Yeah,
the
you
you're not
asked.
the only one. Bloodstained looks like dog shit.
Yeah,
But
Bloodstained is really
It
good.
is great. Yeah, Bloodstained's really good. But yeah, we'll talk about this in depth. I got a lot to say. You know, it's not all sunshine and lollipops. But you know, we'll talk about it. I just kind of want to see this. This is hype.
This
Damn,
is pretty
man.
hype.
It's hype.
Man, the year of the JRPG continues for Nick, huh?
Well,
gonna
yeah,
keep
we'll talk
racking
about
up
it.
them points?
I don't think this is the one for you to play. I mean, I think Metaphor is one that you should play. Honestly,
Yeah.
you
think
finished a
I-
Persona game. This one's more for the Suiko Bros, but you know, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It shows well in trailers. I'll say that.
You what?
It shows well in trailers. This shit looks hype.
It does.
Play this. I'll
It
play this.
does
I have it
look
right
pretty
here.
There's a shark dude.
Kangaroo
Yeah,
man?
there's drug people. Yeah. Yeah, his name is Garu.
Has he got a pouch? Has he got a little version
No,
of
he's a
him inside
dude.
the pouch?
He's not a lady kangaroo.
On a slightly unrelated note, I don't think I'm going to use Kickstarter anymore because I backed this game. I have no idea how to get my copy of this game.
What?
I have
Just log
no
into your
idea.
account.
Check your fucking email.
I
Log
did.
into-
I did. It says.
You
I-
ordered a physical copy. They've been tweeting all about that.
You get one
to
like
know.
backer
They
kit?
need to
I
know
did.
what you
They
want
have
it
my
on.
ad. They have my address. They know what platform I want it on, but I have no tracking information. I have nothing saying it's shipped. I have no way of knowing
Oh.
what the status of it is.
You
weird.
backed a physical version of a Suikoden game?
Here's the
Oh,
thing.
what is
my-
this? I thought
This
this
is
was
the
a trailer.
Zao or whatchamacallit.
Okay. This came out too.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious about it myself, to be honest.
This is not. I thought this was gonna be a regular trailer, not a streamer react.
Streamer react to the trailer.
And we're reacting to a react. And we're like truly YouTube. Now.
Whoa!
We're like Asmongold or whatever his name is. That was that guy's name. This game looks pretty cool.
But here's the thing:
Uh.
the last when I backed certain game, like this is the first year where I would say I have like fully embraced the idea of digital games. So all the games that I've backed on Kickstarter, I opted in for physical. If I could go back and change it, I would. But it's too late. I can't.
Yeah, with
So-
Kickstarters especially, don't fuck with physical because that shit's always gonna be like
never even
delayed or
got-
fucked up or.
I never even got my
Look, if you
You're
get
gonna
physical
be
copies,
waiting
just
on-
give them to me.
You're gonna be waiting on Wii U versions of games and shit.
I think I ordered a physical copy of System Shock. But now I'm thinking about it, no, I got Steam.
So the funny thing is about Eiyuden 100 Heroes is I was checking my email. Oh, okay, hold on. This is Crow Country, right? This comes out soon. The look of this game is fucking rad.
This does
But
look pretty cool. It's
yeah.
just
Do you
like a
know who
survival horror.
I played the demo. Do you know who the developer is?
Wait. Don't tell me.
Embracer.
No. Well, I don't know. Probably. No, it's the developer of Snipper Clips. Remember Snipper Clips?
Oh, that's right.
Snipper Clips was cool.
Wait, Brad. I need you to tell me. Is this a full-on like classic survival
Yeah.
horror? But,
I mean, look. It is
dude.
exactly what it is. Looks
Yeah.
like.
Dude, I love
It's
this.
Resident Evil meets Silent Hill kind of, but that's so crazy. The character looks like a Final Fantasy VII like map version
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like Cloud, you know? Like
Dude, I'm all about that. That looks fucking awesome.
it's cool. The demo was cool.
Dick and ball. Oh,
guy-
oh yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard they were doing this.
Forgot
Did
about
any
this.
of you guys ever play this?
No.
No,
first
Ed
one?
did.
I've
Ed
always
went
wanted
hard
to.
on this.
I put like 20, 30 hours into it. I didn't
Yeah?
finish it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Like it's weird. It's a
So
little
this will
weird,
be the
but
glow
it's
up,
cool.
right? Like the first one's kind of jank. This will be the glow up.
Yeah.
It's fun from like a RPG standpoint.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a glow up kind of situation necessarily, right? This
in
isn't
like
this
the
ain't the
announcement
Witcher
stream
3
when they were
moment.
talking about this game. Like
No.
that's how they were pitching it.
I mean, this is what
Their
the
Witcher
first one
2
looks
moment
like.
at best.
Yeah.
I've heard they had I heard they have minorities in this time.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's big for them.
What a step up!
They let
Like
in the
the ones-
minorities to keep out the women.
Jesus Christ!
The women got their
Yeah.
DLC content in the previous game.
Wait, was that a thing with this original game?
Yeah.
There was, like, no women in the
Yeah,
game?
there
was
was a DLC
damn
expansion
shame.
No,
called
there's women
A
in the game,
Woman's
but it's a
Lot.
very it's a very.
Or is it,
It-
there's not? There's no women on the development team, or is it?
No. It's like I don't know about the development team, but it is one of those games that's like very like we're going for historical accuracy asterisk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
And yet the original
Now,
Kickstarter
Sweet
campaign.
Baby ain't got a hold of them.
which I mean, like I don't know. There's a whole thing about like it takes place in Bohemia, like in the Middle Ages, and a lot of people were like, yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of not white people there.
Yeah. Also, they in the original Kickstarter pitch for the original Kingdom Come Deliverance, their pitch was to have a male or female protagonist, and they only went
Wait,
with the male
that-
with the final product.
Oh man, back up there was a dog.
Well, the lady run animations are difficult.
Wait, Brad,
Oh,
are we not
yeah.
doing traditional trailer talk rules where you can like stop and
Well, I mean, Chris
rub?
Davis is on the
We're just
button,
kinda
so you're gonna
blown.
have
Tell me when to
instruct
stop,
him.
and I will.
What's up with this? What's up with this queue? Is this like a playlist you put together?
Yeah, I threw some stuff on there. You have anything?
Yeah, I put one.
I
in
added-
I put one in the meeting channel.
No, I added Final Shape, I think.
The
I
new
think
one?
it should auto update as soon as it switches to the next trailer.
It'd be at the bottom, though. I mean, I don't know.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. we
Okay,
should do
but
this.
okay, hang on. I do want to say before we move off Kingdom Come, all
Wait,
of
we
that, like those criticisms
Yeah, pause.
aside, what I played of Kingdom Come was really good. Like, was
Okay.
a fun game, and the story was cool. Like, it was cool. It was good.
If I remember correctly,
Um,
Ed put it on his top 10 that year. So like the people who played it,
Yeah,
know.
there was some weird social things with the
Yeah,
developer.
I've always
but
wanted to get around to it for sure.
But it was a
I
cool
just- I might load
it,
up the
it like
first one.
it does that thing too. Like one of the things I really liked about it is it does that thing where there's no fast travel, but they have like a truncated fast travel where like you can open the map, you can select a town you've been to, and it'll do like in Dragon's Dogma where it's like, okay, you're walking and you're walking and you're walking, and if anything happens, then it puts you like back into the world, and it's like you're under attack, like fight. So that's really that was really fun. It made travel really like suspenseful.
Infrared says it has a very slow start, but stick with it.
It does.
I've heard good things, and it's enough to where I want to try the first one, and I'm definitely keeping an eye on this.
It's a
second
very
one.
like if you like the whole like knights and lords and vassals thing, like it's kind of cool.
Like it's
Is
a story driven game. It's not like a sandbox thing.
Like Henry is the main character.
Metal.
He has a whole You're playing like a defined character who is like the son of a blacksmith who rises up through the ranks to become like a knight. Like
Is that sequel coming out this
more
year?
like a whitesmith, am I right?
Yes, it's coming out this year.
You can't say that.
He watch me is what Brad says.
Deliverance 2 is part of the overall strategy.
Deliverance 2.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is this announcement we're having right now is part of their overall strategy of Embracer breaking up into 3 different companies. This is this is what Deep Silver is showing off.
Well, that's. I guess that'll be news on the podcast. Anyways, this little trailer is shit. I saw this during the Nindies.
What is
and I thought it
this?
was kind of cool. This is a cool little. It's the.
Oh,
it's
this is the one where you like travel in the shadows. Like, you
Yeah, it's
go
like
Yeah.
contrast,
shadow to
but it's like a perspective platform.
I wanted to show this.
That's cool.
because I don't know. What do y'all think? Obviously, it looks visually cool and like the concept is sick, but like, is this something that like for a full game is like
Acceptable.
will this be fun? You know, like
I don't
you
know.
know, like how long is this?
It's
game?
entirely just like moving around, like just getting from point A to point B.
It seems like it, right? Like it's a little puzzly, right? Exploration.
He found a
right?
trash can. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't.
But at some point, it's all just timing based, right? I mean, you're.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It feels like it's like a contrast meets Frogger in a way.
I mean, like,
It's
there's
one of
cool little
those-
things where you you can interact with the actual physical
Yeah.
thing creating the shadow.
Yeah.
It's
neat,
one of
like-
those.
True. But
It's one of those games that's like, this is a really cool idea for a system in a like Metroidvania game. Like this
Yeah.
would be a cool
and it's
power
beautiful.
for a character in a bigger game to have. Like,
And it's beautiful, but it has me thinking like, but is it fun? Like, how good is it? How long is it going to be?
Only
fun for?
time will tell.
So this is Animal. I want to make sure we show a trailer for
who's
this because
Big
like
Bone?
this thing
This
thing
is Donkey.
This is the Donkey Publishing.
oh yeah.
Why
but
is
this
it so
is
ugly?
this is sort of a ugly. Jesus
I'm
Christ! man.
fucking kidding.
Game is gorgeous. This game's been in development for a long time, and it's been kind of hyped for a long time because it's taking sort of a I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of like a Rain World approach to like the world design, where it's more about just like how figuring out how the world and its ecosystem works and like how to interact with it, and that's
is
how you progress through the
Metroidvania?
world. It's a Metroidvania.
Brain.
Where
Yeah,
no-
you
no-
gotta
when-
think.
Well, it's a game. It's a Metroidvania where knowledge is the barrier to progression, right?
So if you're an
It's-
idiot, you shouldn't play this game.
It's the
This
thinking man's
game-
Castlevania, is what Brad is saying.
This game is not just, and there's no combat, no traditional combat, I should say. This
Wow,
game looks
this is a-
gorgeous, and like this thing, don't be surprised if this shit drops and
up.
it's getting like 90 pluses. I'm telling you, this shit. There are
Who
some
drafted
previews you can
this?
watch from years ago.
I want to
Somebody
say
drafted
Nolan
it.
got
It's-
this.
I think it was Carlos.
No,
actually.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
watch previews from like a couple of years ago, and you'll be kicking yourself for not having drafted this. This shit
Oh.
looks wild.
Wait. Shut up.
Nick picked this up. That motherfucker.
I know. I'm.
Fuck yeah.
He
Dude,
spent more
like
money
I
than I
can't
had.
fucking. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't fucking what?
Nothing. Like, there's like 5 games already this year that I've been like, I'm gonna bid on that when we get closer to it coming
Yeah.
out, and then either the week I have that thought somebody buys it, or it's the week the game comes out.
Yeah. Well, Nick picked it up for $21, and you know what? If I had that amount of money, I would have
Damn.
spent that much. But I only have so much money left, and I spent the absolute most I can
So
bid
like,
while still having enough money to bid $1 on everything else.
this is another one of those games where you might be like, oh well, it looks like a weird arty game, so like it could go either way, right? Well, I don't know, man.
Pause.
Those
Okay,
other
what was that?
games that they did, like Year Walk, are
Yeah.
fucking incredible. Like,
So not just that, but there was right when they showed that trailer, there was a preview embargo that lifted, and I know Nick spotted it,
We're
and I
gonna
could
talk
tell
about
because
it.
of the amount of money he spent. We're gonna talk about it on the thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk about Fantasy Critic.
What do you think our Fantasy Critic update's going to be this week?
That's true. That's true. And this is what I picked up. So roll that
Steam
beautiful
World.
footage.
I never played Heist.
I can't believe
Oh,
they're
it's
still
so good.
making Steam World games.
Heist is so good. Oh, I was
I
actually
did.
really surprised I was the only bid for this because that first game was a fucking banger. This is XCOM meets fucking Peggle. It's so good.
Yeah, this was the 3DS game, right?
The original came out on 3DS.
The
yeah,
first
the
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been re-released.
What
PC
was
and whatnot.
what was that? What was Steam World Dig on?
Switch and I mean, I played it on Switch.
No,
Well,
no,
there-
it was older than that, wasn't it?
Well,
The first
yeah.
one.
the only thing new about this game is this.
Wasn't it like one of those Xbox Live fucking indie games?
Yeah, the first one, I think, but the second one came out on Switch. This is
Where
I love
are
this.
his hats?
and it's got the
Music's
sweet
pretty
tunes.
rad.
Well, because this band, which is a band in the game, also makes the songs for the game.
Mhm.
Like they're like a lyrical.
Whatever. Sorry, their City Builder came out, didn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
SteamWorld Build.
What was the reception of that? Was it not great?
It
I
was
don't-
okay. Also, different developer.
Oh, is
Oh.
it?
Yeah.
This is like a franchise beyond the
Well,
original
so
developer.
Image and Form got sort of purchased, or they merged with another indie studio and sort of became like a big or indie publisher called Thunder or something. It should be in this trailer. Should be in this trailer. I don't know.
Damn, they
Thunder
announced
Force
this game.
Publishing?
Wait, was this game already announced, or did they just give it a date? with
No,
trailer?
this was a brand new announcement.
Damn.
Very excited. Oh, this just looks
Mullet
cool. I wanted to
match.
show
This does look pretty cool.
Yeah. This has a date. I don't know if it's early access or 1.0, but this shit just looks cool.
This soundtrack
like some-
sounds like it's for me.
It's like Hotline Miami meets Neon White in a way.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a cool combo.
Well, neon white, but I think it's
They
like
did the
robot,
Kaneda
right?
slide, but it was a car. But the car looked like Kaneda's bike.
Mullets.
Yeah.
Man, God, May is gonna be fucking packed.
Is that early access or is that 1.0?
I think it's 1.0.
Oh, this one might seem really random. I
Wait, is this
wanted
the
to
game
post
company?
this. Okay,
That
pause this.
game company.
This is just their game Sky, which is a game that has been out in some various forms for a long time,
Oh.
but we've literally never talked about it on this podcast.
Wait a minute.
Because
This is the one that it was like only on iOS or something for a while?
Yes, for a long
Because
time.
two of my friends played the fuck out of this and were obsessed
Yes.
with it.
It's
like-
it's weird. It's probably that game company's actual like biggest game, like weirdly enough,
Yeah.
right? And it's
They like
finally
had
coming out.
microtransactions.
Yeah, this is it. It can be described as an MMO, but like in a journey kind of way.
Yeah.
That's
And
fucking wild.
It's coming out on
Yeah.
Steam, and I don't know. It's so weird. Literally, no one's ever mentioned it on this goddamn podcast. and
It
I'm
was like only on iOS for years.
yeah,
Like
for years.
it like I couldn't even play it with my friends because I have a fucking Android. Like it was really like weirdly
Alright,
locked
play
up.
it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this footage is like, but
But
it's
yeah,
still
apparently
like
this
got
game
that
is
beautiful
super
art
chill.
style and like
How do they eat?
They're wearing
Is this even watching
masks.
an early access.
Oh, they're
I
mad.
Yeah,
have
they're-
no idea. This
Yeah,
is
they're
so
wearing
weird.
masks. I think. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's all about like mountains and clouds and shit. I don't know.
Is this that original game, or is this like a sequel? I don't know anything about this. I think it's
I
just
think they
like-
might have like just done a few rounds of development on it.
I'm just kind of wondering what happened to that game company. Are they making new games? Are we gonna?
Where's the next journey?
Yeah, just do
After
a Journey
this.
too.
Are we
Everyone
sure
will
this ain't
pop
it?
for a Journey too. Well,
You know where the next journey is? It's oh,
Do you know?
yeah, I do. Shut up. It's fucking Light No Fire.
Oh, Yeah,
anyways,
oh,
you
man.
could skip this, Chris Davis. I didn't realize this was a
hey, what,
kind of a
what are we
cinematic
doing?
story thing.
Wait, it's almost
I
over.
just-
Let's just finish the trailer.
Yeah,
I
I'll
want
just finish it.
many years later.
Dude,
like
Light
we're
No
watching-
Fire is gonna be so sick.
That's
That's
the next game from
Hello
Games, right?
Games. Yeah.
Hello Games, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's their fantasy No Man's Sky.
I added this just because I kind of miss this developer. I wish they were
Yeah.
still making games for everyone.
Yeah.
Does anybody in chat know what the state is? This like still an early access 1.0? What's going on?
Yeah, that's what it says. Oh, here's a trailer for a game that I know Chris Davis talked about after our
Yeah.
Next Fest, but this came out and it got pretty good reviews and whatnot. No one really talked about it on the podcast, and I was wondering if y'all are interested in even trying this. I
I've
tried
never
the
heard of
demo. Oh, really?
Yeah.
This might be up your alley. Well, Chris Davis talked about it, but you might not have been on that one. It's like a sniper game, but like you have one single shot to take down everybody in a stage. So it's all about kind of setting up and marking everybody in a stage, and then just letting that perfect
Hey.
shot go.
Yeah.
I do
kind of a
kind of
puzzle game.
maybe remember him talking about this a long time ago, only because I don't think we saw any footage, and when he was describing
Yeah.
it, all I was thinking of was that. Do you remember that, like, it's called, like, One Shot JFK or whatever? Someone made a game where, like, you try to recreate the magic bullet shot that
Good.
Yeah,
killed
this is a
Kennedy and
Magic Bullet
hit
game.
and hit Governor Connolly.
It's kind of fucked up.
Oh, it's really fucked up. And it's like the whole thesis of the game is like this is an impossible shot. Like, but I think it is possible to do it. It's
an
really
interesting
hard.
approach to proving a theory. So what's the deal with this? Is this not
Didn't
getting
this
good
kind of
reviews?
flop a little bit?
Well, I mean, yeah, actually. But you know, the
It's such
reviews
a
are all
shame.
over
It
the place
looks
for
so
this.
amazing.
It looks so amazing. I just wanted to shout out Harold Halibut because they worked on it for 10 years and it looks fucking gorgeous, and it came out and the reviews were all over the place, and I don't think it sold very well. I mean, I don't know.
Vixie says Harold fucked me in Fantasy Critic.
But it is on
Sandland. Dude, this game looks so cool.
Pause it.
The more I see this game, the more I'm like, I gotta play this.
Harold, I just want to say it is on Game Pass. It looks cool. Some people seem to really love it. It's not a game that got like 7s across the board. It got like 10s and 5s
9s and
across
2s.
the board.
Yeah.
It's very divisive. It doesn't have a lot of gameplay. Some people were expecting like a traditional point and click adventure game. It's not
It seems like it's more of a vibe than like
it's a vibe game, and I don't know. I still love the look of it. My God, I mean, maybe it's in the running for like best looking game of the year for me. Honestly, I love how that game looks, and I don't know if I'll ever play it, but it is on Game Pass. I just want to shout out Harold Halibut. Still looks cool. Sandland also looks cool.
Sandland looks sick.
This one comes out soon. Like it's too late for anybody to get on this.
Of course they would do
R.I.P.
Sandstorm.
Oh, actually, mute this shit.
Is it Darude?
No, he needs to mute it.
It is.
He needs to mute it.
Wait, are we muting
is.
it because of the
Yeah,
the
Because
fucking
we don't
mute?
want to get struck.
Yeah, we don't get shook.
This was like kind of like, oh, this looks neat, and then they started showing off like vehicles and mechs and shit, and I'm like, yes, let's go.
I don't know how
This
this is
looks
gonna
fun.
like review or anything, but it does look pretty wild.
Dude, that is like Akira Toriyama's mechanical design was always like the coolest shit in any of his stuff, and it's one of the things that's like better about Dragon Ball than Dragon Ball Z, because there's not enough of that shit in Dragon Ball Z. It's
True.
This looks so cool. Look at that. He's got a mech with like giant fucking speakers on its shoulder.
Is it open world? It looks kind of open world.
Yeah.
maybe.
It is. I think.
Neat.
I'm pretty sure, because like a whole big part of it is like traversing the desert in like vehicles and shit.
I'm a little worried about performance. I heard some mixed things about like the demo, but it definitely has a cool vibe.
I need to see
We'll see.
raw gameplay.
You
really.
play a cooler version of
tons
Kid
of raw
Buu.
gameplay.
I never
There's
got out
tons
of
of
my
raw
way to look
gameplay.
for it.
And there's a demo.
There, that looks
Um,
open world.
Man, R.I.P. Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
Sikorsky.
Here we go.
Chick-
So I hear this game is also maybe not
Did
doing
he?
great in early access.
Meaning what though? Like performance wise, or people?
I mean,
Performance-wise, from what I understand.
mostly.
What is
performance-wise,
this?
I think. No Rest for the Wicked.
Creators of Ori?
Yeah,
It looks so good.
Wait,
you
wait.
know this one.
You know what this is, Crispy. You've seen.
Yeah, dude, I don't like. I don't know, man. I'm so
The
like,
art style
like
is
I'm so like,
arcane looking shit.
I'm so
so good
wrapped
looking.
up in like the big franchise stuff. Like I'm just thinking about Destiny and Final Fantasy 14.
Sorry, chat.
So this is out in early access, and
Star Wars.
it's like isometric Dark Souls, right? It looks rad.
I've heard, somebody in our Discord described it as Diablo meets Dark Souls,
It's
but
not
like
Diablo. I think they call it Diablo because it's
It's
isometric.
got that CRPG. look.
probably.
But this is just an isometric Souls game, I think.
Yeah.
But it has like survivally,
But from the
like,
creators
survival
of-
game elements to it.
Oh,
From-
so you
from the
mean
creators of one of the coolest action
Tree
games
Puncher
ever.
stuff.
you mean what's Runic?
V Rising.
No.
Kinda like that.
V Rising's cool. No, V Rising's like a fucking building game. Like
Yeah,
you build
you're right,
like
you're
a
right.
castle and shit.
This is more
Yeah.
definitely more Souls like.
V Rising's kind of sick if you guys haven't played it. It's fun.
Oh, I got a V Rising trailer on here because
Because they got a new expansion. or some shit.
Castlevania.
Yeah.
Castlevania,
Oh, yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I got it. It comes
so-
out 1.0 in May.
Hey,
So
real
V
quick,
Rising's
pause it.
cool. You should play
Yeah.
it.
Real quick, Moon Studios has said that they're already thinking about making another Ori game. So I don't know if
Okay,
that
what
means
does
that.
mean?
They should.
I mean, they should.
That's
Yeah,
good.
definitely. But
I
like,
mean,
what-
I think Ori is one of the best platformer
What's the
Metroidvania.
Tunic? Tunic.
Yeah. What about
That's an isometric Souls like.
Yeah.
True.
I
But I
think
mean,
this-
that's more like puzzly. I mean, that
Yeah.
that's just different.
I mean, it's
the
Zelda.
combat is Soulsy in that game, but everything
Yeah.
else. So is No Rest for the Wicked out? Oh yeah, it's out.
It's
Most
out in early
positive on
access.
early
Steam.
access.
13,000 reviews. That's
It's mostly what? What are the reviews? On Steam.
it's mostly positive, 70%. But
I mean-
but that's probably because of crazy ass technical
For what?
issues. But
I mean, I have no doubt that they're going to end when it hits 1.0. I think it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because-
What?
we'll see.
I mean, because
We'll
like, if the primary concern is performance, like that's one of Moon Studios' like strongest suits.
They'll figure it
and
out.
They'll figure it out. It's just, I just really wish this game wasn't early access because I want to play it so fucking bad.
I mean,
But
same with
I
fucking
will-
Hades this year, right?
Yeah,
Fuck.
fuck, man, it
Oh,
kills me.
yeah.
There's people actually playing Hades 2 right now. God damn it. I will not
People-
touch that game until
It's not
1.0.
even early access. I don't want to play Hades 2 at all right now.
Oh.
But I was watching footage of it.
There's
I'm like,
other
oh my
people
God, I miss
gooning
Hades.
over Hades.
Yeah.
The fucking Hades 2 smut's already running rampant.
I play this shit. Oh look, this is a vibes trailer. I kind of like this. I know y'all aren't like Secret of Mana people, but this is one of those trailers that you just get really like nostalgic and like.
They already have me with the text or with the font.
The Square Enix logo.
No, the 1991, the retro
Oh,
pixelated font.
The first Mana game, the Final Fantasy Adventure to us on Game Boy. The funny part about this is like, people have a lot of nostalgia for that first game because Final Fantasy Adventure, and then Secret of Mana on Super Nintendo, and Seiken Densetsu 3, which was like that famed, like back in the 90s, it was like, oh my god, there's another Mana game that never came out to the West and it's been fan translated. It was like the game to have on your Super Nintendo emulator, But you know what? There was a fourth Mana game, like official mainline game on the PS2, and it was fucking terrible. But this game is all about the nostalgia of that series, so sure enough, they can't ignore the fourth mainline game on PS2. That's tragic. I don't know.
And
I
this is
love-
a
I
lot.
love-
You've gone really far into this trailer without seeing any visions of Mana.
Well, no, this is a nostalgia. I love
Yeah.
commercials.
I
like
mean,
this.
it is cool. It is cool.
Pulling on your heartstrings.
Makes me want to be a kid again.
That's the idea, I think. But you could be a kid again by buying Visions of Mana this year.
Oh
Later
fuck,
this
you're gonna
year.
do it. How many points you gonna give me?
2006. He's just a
2006
college.
points? I only need 10.
no. I'm talking about the trailer. This is the point where he picks up the fourth Mana game, realizes it's awful, and decides to stop playing video games for a long time.
jeez.
What is this? Dawn of Mana?
Could be Legends of Mana.
No, this is all of them now.
No, I'm saying like that would be the one to stop him.
God damn, this is hype. I haven't even played a Mana game.
Multiplayer action RPGs.
This
Well,
feels
after
like
the
a
second
trailer
one.
you could show to someone who doesn't understand the appeal of video games, and it might make them understand a little bit. Maybe. He just never mind.
Now he's a disillusioned businessman, working 9 to 9.
9 to 9.
Then he sees
That's
his,
not entirely inaccurate.
his billboard of Visions of Mana. He will recapture his youth again. This is Nick every time he boots up a JRPG, hoping to capture the feelings he had when he played Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah, no, fuck yeah, man. I'm still chasing that. Not even gonna lie.
Here we go.
think
Wait,
it'll
why
be
are we
okay.
watching Darkest Dungeon 2 trailer? That game's been out
But
forever.
no,
DLC.
this shit is hype. This DLC completely, y'all aren't gonna recognize it. This is a free update mode where it completely reworks the assets of the game into a completely different like game that I heard described as a lot like the Darkest Dungeon 2 board game, which is actually the
I was about
Darkest
to say, it
Dungeon
looks
board
like
game,
Monopoly
which is
now.
actually pretty good. But that's the thing. One of the biggest complaints of Darkest Dungeon 2 was that, like, you know, people love the art and the vibes. Like, it's still gorgeous and it's still very Darkest Dungeon, but they kind of hate the game that they made with it, right? A lot.
Yeah.
Partially because it's very different from the first game, and partially just because they just kind of don't like what they ended up making. So they're basically just completely. It looks like completely making a
Wait,
different.
they're not
game.
happy with Darkest Dungeon 2?
A lot of people are not, and
But the developers are.
the developers. Okay, pause this for a second. I'll be quick. So throughout the early access period, people have been kind of unhappy with it, and they've been desperately trying to like tweak the game to kind of make everybody happy. But in reality, they were never going to make anyone happy because they turned a game that was about, like, you know, a town management dungeon crawler into a roguelike game, and people didn't like what they made. So instead of like continuing to tweak that, which I guess they're still going to do, they made this like huge other mode that basically uses all the assets and the battle system and everything of Darkest Dungeon 2, but in a essentially a completely different game. Depending on like the depth and breadth of this or whatever, this could be like secretly Darkest Dungeon 3 or like Darkest Dungeon 2
That is
second try.
interesting. That is
So it's cool.
definitely
It's cool.
interesting.
And the thing is, if you haven't played Darkest Dungeon 2, you're looking at this and you're like, oh, what is this? Darkest Dungeon 2? Darkest Dungeon 2 doesn't look like what you saw at all. Like, at all. There is no like skill trees like that. There is no map like that. It is not that. That is not the game. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited about it, and that's why I put it on there.
Oh, it looks cool.
And they're probably giving it away for free because they desperately are trying to get as many people back as possible, I think.
You know, I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like maybe we should just be doing this during our 30 minutes of banter before the podcast every week.
That's the whole idea. How much do we have left?
Do we have enough trailers for this?
I threw this shit into a playlist. I mean, I kept
I'd
throwing
have to
stuff onto
click
the
away to
playlist.
look.
It wasn't, the idea wasn't to watch all these trailers, so whenever y'all want to stop, we can.
Wait, is
Wanna
this an
watch the
actual
final
Prince of Persia
shade?
game?
Yeah, this is
the
the
new
Rogue Prince of Persia.
game.
I didn't think I heard rumor. I didn't think they actually announced it.
This is from the Dead Cells developers.
This shit's coming out in May.
Oh.
What the fuck? When did this happen?
Yeah. Pay attention.
like weeks ago.
Couple weeks.
We
I believe they're
going
to show actual footage here in a second.
But
I
is
think
it,
this
does
is
it
the
look
reveal.
good? Does it look good? What's it?
Well, you're about to
That's all
find
right.
out.
I mean, it's the Dead Cells developer. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think people trust the Dead Cells team, but I'm sad that it wasn't like Castlevania wasn't the franchise that got the full separate game. That's a roguelike.
I feel like Ubisoft was going to pay him more than
Maybe
Konami.
skip forward
Wait.
a little bit.
So is this a roguelite?
Yes,
Is that
it
what you're
is.
saying?
It is
is a
called the
roguelike, yes.
Rogue Prince of Persia.
Oh.
The Rogue. Is this not the gameplay reveal?
Does he have time
No,
travel?
it is. It's about to do it.
Okay.
Show me
Yeah, he
this
does.
fucking gameplay reveal. I want to see it.
I think
Are we
this
really
is like
gonna
a
get?
cinematic intro.
It
Are we
cuts
really
to the
gonna
game.
get?
Here,
What?
yeah.
the
This is the game.
Are we really gonna get two sick ass Prince of Persia
Yeah.
games in the same
Well, I mean,
year?
if this one's sick, I don't know.
Well, I think this is in early access,
is.
right?
It is. Oh yeah, this one's early access.
Oh, that's
Launch
a bummer.
early.
Fuck.
It's got a little bit of a 3DS art style here, but
Dude, it looks
you know,
fucking bad.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's trying to be like
classic Prince of Persia.
like a
so to speak.
classic style, or well, I was gonna say like almost like fresco painting, like
Hmm.
Dude, I think I actually like the aesthetic of this game more than. The
Oh,
Lost
but
Crown.
you like famously
Yeah,
thought that
you
game was ugly for
would.
some reason.
Wait,
You
I thought the
famously
game what?
thought Lost Crown was ugly for some reason, right?
I mean, I didn't say ugly, but I do. Don't,
Famously?
I
you
definitely
mean
don't.
infamously.
I definitely don't think the look is the strongest aspect of the
There you
Lost
go.
Crown. Okay, what is this? What are we
So
watching?
like these castles, like this castle that this character is in, is one that they would have built themselves,
Wait, what is
Yeah.
this? What game?
like
is
on the
This
world
is
map.
V Rising.
Oh,
So 1.0 comes out soon, and they're gonna have like a Castlevania
This is
crossover deal.
it's like yeah, it's an isometric like survival crafting game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think
What?
Valheim.
So like you build like yeah, like you lay down a coffin and like the the stronger you get, the bigger you can make your castle. Oh, that's so sick.
That is,
and then
fucking
you
sick,
go
but-
out, and it's all supposed to be like in like shared servers too. So there's like other players like building their castles in the same, and you can like PvP and stuff. So it's
I'm
like all
looking
these.
at this, and my first thought is, God, this looks fucking cool, but I don't think I'll ever be able to make something that looks this cool.
I mean,
Well,
Because
mean,
I'm never able to do that in any of these. Like,
That's so
crafting
sick.
games.
And you get all these vampire powers. So like as you like kill
What?
As you like kill things and like
Time to
like
develop.
you kill like certain enemies and suck their blood. Like you kill other vampires and suck their blood, and it gives you like more vampire power. And you can do all this crazy shit, like turn into a wolf, turn into mist, like you get magic powers and stuff. It's so
Dude, this looks
cool.
fucking rad. I don't know
And then-
why I thought this.
Yeah, and then
I
there's
don't-
like NPC villages around with like villagers in them, and you can go like fucking feed on them and shit. Like it's so cool. It's so
So
cool.
this game is currently in early access, but it's not 1.0 yet.
It hits 1.0 next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When this drops, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I might
Sunlight
try that. That
hurts
looks fucking
you.
rad.
I already
Oh.
bought because I have to support Castlevania. So
Brad's throwing in an accolades trailer.
I did throw an accolade trailer for
Huh.
Rise of the Ronin just because this shit is hype.
Hey Brad, I heard there was an accolades trailer for Alone in the Dark. You want to throw that in too?
I saw that and I'm like, come on, you can't do an accolades trailer when you're sub 70 on Metacritic. Stop it.
Hey,
He's,
give them some
no.
credit. Most of their team was laid off today.
Oh, well that's.
Embrace it, right?
Well, of course I didn't mean to.
So stupid. You can't do katanas and fedoras. You can't do it. You can't do that.
Well, if you're pro shogunate, Western loving scum, you can.
Yeah, I hate the West.
Well, when I'm a fucking samurai, I do.
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Red Sun? It's like it's Toshiro Mifune as a samurai with Charles Bronson as a cowboy, and they're like, it's
This
not a
is one of
great
my-
movie.
This was my. I drafted this last year, but Nolan snagged it this year.
Oh, Nolan has it on his list. Yeah, this
which,
is.
it
yeah.
hurts because this is one of my most anticipated games of the year. I think.
Following a hero's
Hollow
quest.
Knight meets Sekiro is what people are calling.
I mean, that's kind of that's the vibe I got in the demo,
More things should meet Hotline.
and it's
Miami.
just absolutely stunning to look at. Oh my god.
Yeah, and from the developer of Devotion and Detention, which is crazy. This is such like a huge like pivot for them. I don't know. I think it looks awesome. And the thing is, like, so
Owl
Detention
Punk?
and Devotion have like, it's like they're cool like storytelling horror games with like the focus on like telling a story. And like what I played in the demo is like the story stuff seems pretty wild in this as well.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm pretty excited about this. I think it'll be cool.
Tau Punk is way cooler than NASA Punk.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah,
I love NASA Punk. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you would.
Also, can we just stop adding the word punk to the end of everything?
No,
No,
Punk is cool.
it's what you do.
I just
Mouse
threw this one
game.
in here because fuck y'all. I don't think this is coming
Me
out this year, but I want it.
either.
This looks so good. If this came out this year, I think Silksong would be afraid.
These guys
Guess how good
finally
this
got
game is.
sick of Shovel Knight.
This trailer is like the trailer they showed when they revealed this game.
Wait,
They're
you mean
not-
they've been making Shovel Knight for 10 years and getting all that money, and all they turn around and made a game that looks just like Shovel Knight?
It looks like
I'm
ass.
You think this looks like Shovel Knight? That means you're actually dumb. But you've also haven't played Shovel Knight, or
I
probably
actually
like
have.
Link's
I ac-
Awakening or
I
Castlevania.
actually have played Shovel Knight for about 2 hours.
Well, have you
You
played
should
a
not be
Game Boy
thinking of
Color
sho-
game?
Yeah, you should not be thinking about Shovel Knight when you see this. You should be thinking about like Link's
I
Awakening.
played Shovel
shit.
Knight back before I could legally rent a car.
This
Yeah.
is Link's Awakening meets Castlevania with sick ass movement controls. I think this
Good
game
music.
looks incredible, and I think it will be incredible. Like I think when
Oh.
this
Load
shit-
up!
Does he have the
I don't
chain?
think this is going to come out this year. Yeah, chain whip. I don't think this shit's going to come out this year, but I'm gonna be drafting this next year if it doesn't. I don't care. I think this game looks fucking amazing.
The bitch you are.
Who has it right now? It's on somebody's list.
It's me. It's me.
Oh, it's on yours. Okay.
And it was counterpicked by Carlos. I'm gonna have to super drop this shit.
Fully voice acted?
Yeah, of course, right? I mean, it's all about the story. I don't know. Shut up. This is a game for people who like video games, not stories.
Not words.
Fuck
Oh man, it's gonna be so good. I don't know how much. Like I said, we can stop whenever you want. I know we have a short podcast.
No, we haven't done mine yet.
Oh, you're added yours at the end. I don't even know when that is.
Wait, don't show me this nonsense. I don't want to see this.
Oh, look, another one on my list.
Fight for the fate.
This one is coming out. When's that Xbox event?
It's
That's
next
when
week,
we're gonna see
the
this shit.
29th.
This is like a 2-year-old trailer, and this shit looks
Wait, hold on a second.
fire.
This
Is
is
the Microsoft
vaporware
event next
actually?
week? That's not their June showcase thing, is it? Or is
No,
it?
this
will
is an
probably be
indie
at the
showcase
June.
they're doing.
This will probably it could
I
be
think-
either one.
I think it could.
I think
that's
this is a
pretty
big
good
enough
candidate.
deal that it'll be at the June thing.
I think Microsoft has paid Team Cherry enough to have exclusive marketing rights, so I think they're going to do it next week.
Guys, I want to be real with y'all. I think this game is primed to score like mid-90s. I really believe that.
I mean, of course. Why do you think?
Yeah,
Do
real
you think we would be
controversial
shocked?
opinion.
Yeah. What the
Well,
fuck are you talking about? I don't know if you've heard
I'm
about
just
it.
saying.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking
I'm
good.
just saying.
By the way, Robin just fucking demolished Hollow Knight. She had never played it before, and now she is
Oh,
officially.
first time?
Now she has officially made
She's a
Hollow Knight her
convert.
bitch, and she's
She's
like,
a believer.
now she understands Silksong, and she's like, I was like, you are really late to the game here, but now you understand why everybody wants Silksong.
That shit looks so good. Oh.
Oh, look, another game on Brad's list.
Oh yeah, World of Goo 2. This
I
one
see what
got
you're-
delayed. This game got delayed twice recently, but it's
Brad
coming out.
literally just
stupid.
went down his list and started adding
August.
everything on his list to this fucking Trailer Talk playlist.
If you pay attention, I added a lot of stuff on people's list that's coming out this year.
I know.
That's the whole point. We talk about that stuff.
Is that what we do here?
I just like World of Goo.
I can't believe.
I own World of
Crispy
Goo.
played 50% of it and thinks he knows the whole game.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do. There is something to be said about. I cannot believe we're getting World of Goo 2 when I remember talking about World of Goo 1 while we were recording at David's table in his
It was
fucking
my
kitchen.
It was my second favorite game of the year of 2008 behind
my
Valkyria
God.
Chronicles.
We had been podcasting for a year when World of Goo 1 came out.
2008.
2008.
8. Not
8.
teen, not 18.
2008. Or maybe 9.
I didn't even-
2008.
I couldn't even legally drink yet.
I mean, I don't think any of us could. Well,
I
maybe
think
Brad could.
Brad could.
I think I just can't believe all these sick ass indie games are actually coming out this year. Hopefully, like I think this has been a really good year for video games. As much talk as last year got.
Wait, Brad, you can't say that yet. You
I'm only
can't
talking
say
about the
that.
games that have already come out. Have been maybe as impressive. This is a Nolan one. We haven't seen this since it was revealed, but I still think this looks really sick.
You haven't forgotten about me.
I have to pee. Don't play my trailer till I get back.
Well,
Play it now. Play it now.
done just yet.
Just pull up the playlist. I'm kind of curious how this is Punch Out meets like a rhythm game meets. Look at this shit. Meets.
Brad, how difficult?
Oh, we're
is
close.
it-
We're close.
Yeah,
We're close. We're
How
close.
difficult is it to keep this list updated enough that we could do this before every show? Is the question.
I threw this list together when you
I know.
asked me if
What
I
I'm
have
saying
a list.
is, we do this weekly.
Yeah, we'll
like-
just do a shortened version of it
One sec,
weekly.
one
That's
sec.
fine.
Okay.
Or what?
Because I think this would be. I mean, we normally don't start recording until 8:30, so like 8 to 8:30 doing this would be great.
Can you
Or like
rewind
that.
that real quick? Everyone's talking. Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
you
wait,
skipped
no,
to
the
this
Razor's
shit.
game, not this one.
Also a
There we go.
this is Punch Out meets a rhythm game, but like not just a rhythm game, kind of like a big Undertale energy game, rhythm game energy
Nope.
meets
Sorry.
Rhythm Heaven,
Sorry, chat.
which is like, what the fuck, Chris Davis? Well, y'all saw the Rhythm Heaven stuff. I think it's still like a really good mix of game
Oh, this
ideas.
game
I
looks
think
so
that game could be good.
racist.
What do y'all think about this one?
Are you-
Carlos has been DMing me about Fantasy Critic occasionally. He seems to think that this is like a trap or something. I'm like,
mean-
Carlos, I don't know. This shit looks too. I mean, this doesn't have to like be the next Tunic or something to like impress people. It already is cool looking enough to like.
No, it's the cool
They just
shit.
need to
Here we
make
go.
an okay
Yeah.
game. They just need to make an okay game because
don't know, but-
honestly, they are most of the way there.
I think
with this
he's
idea
worried.
and the visuals.
I think he's worried it's gonna get Harold Halibut to
No, but this is already more of a video game than Harold Halibut, and just the fucking trailers. I mean, the thing
is
is,
this that racist game?
It is that
Yep.
racist game. Yeah, that's the one.
if it's really bad, like if it actually plays like shit and is like really short or something and repetitive, maybe. But I feel like we've already seen enough cool shit in trailers to think that like this game is going to be just fine.
It does look really cool.
I think they like show a puzzle here real quick. I don't know how long this trailer is, but we're pretty close to Destiny, Crispy. No,
Oh, spoilers.
Did you say crispy?
it's not gonna get a
Nolan?
69. Like, what are you talking about? I do think sometimes when indie games are like really anticipated and look really nice, and they kind of underwhelm, like a Harold Halibut, maybe like critics are a little bit meaner than they should be. Sometimes I think that might actually happen.
They get fucking brutalized by the critics.
But this thing, it already looks too good.
Yeah, it does.
It's too good.
Yeah, look at it. I mean,
It's just a shame that this.
I
game
don't
is so
care if that
problematic.
puzzle is bad or easy because that shit.
Yeah.
I-
Well, that
I
was
wanna
the joke. I mean, that was
wanna
the joke,
remember
right?
this
Is we
moment
always.
If this game comes out and the puzzles are bad and or easy, Brad cannot complain about it.
What do you mean?
I mean, you just said I don't care. if
I'm talking about like I'm saying I think this game is gonna score well. I feel like at this point we've seen enough of this game.
Yeah, I think we all do. Like that was the
to
joke.
think that like, yeah. Well, I don't know.
The joke
I'm
was
more
that the
addressing
only like
Carlos's-
we were worried about people drafting this game because the only way it was going to score poorly was if there was like some kind of weird problematic
Well, yeah,
element to
that
it.
was the
like,
joke from last year.
because it looks too good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
when
funny,
Nolan
like-
was kind of dominating, yeah, we were.
it
like,
looks too
"Oh."
good, and we were calling it racist. Now we're just like,
Yeah,
what if it is racist?
something. Maybe this year it's like Zionist or something.
No,
Oh no.
he said the thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The plucky squire.
Cool.
That
Yeah,
plucky
Maybe it'll get
squire.
delayed again.
Looks
Maybe it'll
so
get
cool.
delayed.
Ghost bike.
This is
Oh,
a
yeah.
Carlos pick.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember this
Counterpicked by.
I'll pull up
Nolan,
the
I think?
list. I'll pull up the list here.
Italian.
Ghost
do it,
Bike
though.
is on
From the developers of Nidhogg and Nidhogg 2, which is
Yeah,
wild.
Ghost-
Really?
Ghost Bike is on the list
Yeah.
and on Carlos's, and it was counterpicked by
Nolan.
Nolan.
Oh.
I think
But
I think that's an okay counter pick because I have a feeling this shit might not come out. I mean, to say that the developers of Nidhogg are like speedy game devs, I don't know.
Well, they
The
churned out
Nidhogg
Nidhogg
guys?
2 pretty quick.
Yeah,
Wow.
Nidhogg developers. I have no idea what this game is.
I really don't know what
looks-
this game is either.
It looks fucking cool though.
It
Like
looks neat.
You get
Pretty.
different bikes apparently.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, they also have only. What have they done anything besides Nidhogg? I mean, that's they
They
know
did
that,
Nidhogg too.
and they're good at that.
I
They
want to
know
know
that
what
and
the
they're good at
ghost
that.
part is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, the ghost
Where's
is
the-
right there.
Where
You
did
saw
the
the
ghosts come in?
You saw
No.
it. It was
right
floating
there.
in front of the bike.
Yeah.
Shut
No one
up.
counterpicked it, and I think his comment was like, "Well, I don't know what the fuck that is, so I guess I'll counterpick it."
Here's a Chris Davis pickup. Is this a new trailer or is this the same one?
Yeah,
they
this is
showed?
the newest one that they showed.
Yeah.
I wanted to show it because I actually think this game looks really cool.
It does.
But
Look
I do think it's like weirdly, like I think it might be like a tower defense game. But like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of doesn't matter because look how wild this shit looks.
This
this
is the
is such a
game
cool-
that everybody for a hot second thought might be an Onimusha game.
Which
Oh,
in
I
hindsight is
stand
fucking
by. I believe
nothing
this
like
started
Onimusha.
life as a Onimusha game.
Chris Davis,
I-
you have not seen this footage. Do you know what you drafted or bid on? Because what are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about like
What-
the art style.
What? This is Onimusha looked like Resident Evil with a sword. What are you
It
talking
did.
about? This doesn't look like. This,
I
you know what
wouldn't
this
put
looks
it-
more like?
I would not put it past Capcom to have a bunch of assets from a canceled Onimusha game and they just rework it.
No fucking way. First of all, this does not look like. Look at what's happening. Everything's in this town. I really do think this is like a tower defense game, but like I do not. If I get vibes of any game that this reminds me of, it actually reminds me more of the Otogi games on Xbox. Remember those? Otogi 1 and 2.
Man, I don't know why, but
I never
something
played
about
those back in the day, but I
shot
know
that
them.
one of the shots they just showed for whatever reason made me think of Jade Cocoon.
Okay, seriously.
Even though it's nothing like Jade Cocoon at all.
Otogi. First Otogi 1 and 2. Xbox original game.
I know
play
of
those.
them. I never played them.
Otogi.
I've
Oh,
never
dude,
heard
those
of
games
that.
are wild.
Hey, real talk
All
though.
right, add an
Davis,
Otogi trailer to this.
Real talk though, Chris Davis, you did pick a game that looks pretty cool. I hope.
Well,
I
also,
hope it
like,
delivers.
When was the last time Capcom fucked up a release?
Resident Evil
your
3?
fucking your fucking dinosaur game.
Exoprimal?
Exoprimal?
That did
Yeah, I
fine.
earned.
Isn't
Did
that
it? I
still-
earned points last year for counterpicking that.
Yeah, but it's still going, right? It's still making money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
had
think
friends
it's
the other
probably more
day
of a
that wanted me to
critical
play.
failure than a. I think it's a critical failure, maybe not a financial failure.
Wasn't like
Yeah.
David playing it or something?
Well, it's co-op, so of course it is.
And it's David.
He told me what his game of the year is.
Wait for 2024.
As of 2 days ago, do you want to hear his game of the year so far?
Wait,
Please.
let me guess.
You'll never guess. Or let's see. If you know David, you should be able to guess, but you'll never guess because it's a David pick.
Is it something I would even know exists?
You maybe not,
Okay, then never mind. I'm not gonna guess.
You
but
don't
maybe
know Japanese games.
it's the new Outcast game.
Yeah, I have no
Not
idea.
Outlast, Outcast.
Like the band?
What?
What?
No. Outcast. Outcast. I don't know what's called. Outcast 2.
This looks very good.
I don't even know. I don't know what that is.
I'm glad I got this.
It does look cool.
Outcast: A New Beginning.
Oh
Alright,
yeah,
I
we
think
haven't
there's
even
just a
watched
couple more
Star Wars.
trailers.
Okay, if
What?
Outcast: A New Beginning.
this is kind of a long trailer, I didn't.
Oh, is it?
Star Wars?
How
It's a
long?
star. I mean, maybe it's like 2.5 minutes. I don't know.
Oh, this is. I haven't seen this.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, this
I
is a trailer.
haven't.
Everybody, shut up then.
Turn up the volume.
Turn it up. Yeah, I told you this wouldn't be loud enough.
Kay Vest,
Cool gun.
the underworld's favorite new scoundrel. We meet at last.
What do you want?
Zarek Besh. They're new, rich, and lethal.
This is
You crossed their boss Sliro. and now
low key my most
lucky
anticipated game of the year.
Gone.
Is it low key?
It's on my
Uh,
list.
Your game of the year
I'm
last
also-
year was a Star Wars game. I mean,
But this is an Ubisoft game. So
Isn't
Oh,
isn't this
no.
the newest? Isn't this the newest like higher fans stop making Aloy ugly game?
Oh god.
maybe.
People were like not.
I mean, I
into
feel like
He
the-
every
doesn't want to
game-
catch anyone off guard that he's really. into
But
this
it's
Ubisoft
perfect because
thing.
she's got the feathery '70s haircut. Like, yeah, every human in Star Wars should look like a fucking weirdo from the '70s.
I totally agree with that.
Should
statement.
look like they're on their way to or coming from a disco.
I really do like her character design.
This job is my one
Do you
shot
think
at
that there will be a single player AAA Star Wars game in the next 15 years in which the protagonist is not
the
human?
right ship.
Yeah, probably.
Sure, 15 years. That's a pretty big window. I'd say it's a
We're
pretty safe bet.
Like
Is
15
she a human
years
or is she like an
when
alien?
like one of the most like popular protagonists in Star Wars right now is Ahsoka Tano. Like I mean,
Then you let on sleep.
you know, like yeah, I could totally see
Yeah,
that.
but they've had like 20 years to do with something with Ahsoka, and they've never done anything except one season of a.
Dude, they didn't
From my
even put
understanding,
black
not
people in
that good
Star
TV
Wars
show.
until the second one. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're getting there.
I'm just saying, the last time we saw a single-player Star Wars game in which there was a non-human protagonist was Jedi Academy.
Yeah. I think
I think it's a pretty safe bet.
that was a Kret Dragon. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm into it, guys. I'm fucking into it.
Dude, I love it. People are all like Dune pilled now. They're all like, we need big sandworms everywhere. This is sick.
Everything should have a good. Ooh, here we go.
Wait,
I can finally
wait.
see
Hang
what
on.
Destiny looks like.
Hang on. Stop. Pause it.
Yeah.
You should turn up the volume a little bit because this is a talkie trailer.
There's only a little bit more.
I mean, I can only turn it up so much.
No, that's not a good answer.
Probably not true.
It's
You can
maxed
right-click
out.
on the-
It is maxed out.
I want to know what Destiny looks like. Will this trailer show me what Destiny looks
It is
like?
a first-person
It'll
shooter.
show you what it's about to look like, because one of the things about like this is all in the new area, which is being called the Pale Heart, and this one it's supposed to be pretty like weird and trippy and psychedelic. It's
I like
basically
the sound
like
of that.
yeah, like a mindscape kind of thing, heaven and
Nick's
hell.
gonna send this game some good vibes.
Let's do it.
Old.
When I woke up in this place, I could have almost believed it was paradise.
It's like Cade 10, Cade 11 now.
Nope, still Cade 6.
Oh, really?
I feel the light.
Sounds a little bit like that guy from The
flowing.
Rookie.
It's everywhere.
It's Castle.
The ground beneath my
Hey,
feet.
wasn't this guy
is a
played by
memory.
I thought. Never.
the
You know what, I
dude
don't
who
want-
does
So is the grass
Sonic's voice?
and the sky. Warmth of the sun on my face. And around every corner, every familiar hallway, I keep expecting to see you. But instead, corruption, a blight, sickness spreading through the traveler. Because the traveler's where I am, isn't it? This disease, I can feel it too. Something in the pit of me knows it won't stop after it's consumed this place. You, me, the entire
That's the new prismatic.
and everyone
The
it wants to infect.
transcendence.
We gotta stop what's happening here.
Destiny 2, the
New
fractured
enemies.
metal.
They've got fucking flying enemies now.
A
with
lie. I'm
wings.
into this trailer.
Like I said, Nick's gonna send it some positive vibes. We'll never play it, but
The Witness?
Dude,
Dude,
everything about that trailer looks
So
cool
cool.
to me. It just
So
feels
cool.
like I'd have to play through an ungodly amount of Destiny 2 just to get to that content.
mm,
and you play Destiny.
well, every time they put out a expansion, they do a skip to
skip
like,
this one. Skip this one. Do the one after it.
to bring you up to
This is the place.
ready.
Is this the one?
But
Yeah.
I would also say that Destiny's new player onboarding is
This is Otogi too, by the way.
Pretty good.
no,
So-
it's really bad.
You
Wainer.
Oh.
Ancient.
Chris Davis. Now I want you to tell me, what reminds you more of Kinnitsugami, Onimusha or this?
I mean, I gotta see gameplay.
This is a very old trailer. I don't know how much gameplay we're gonna be able to parse
I-
out.
I can't tell.
What am I looking at?
What are these
This one-
squares doing?
This looks like holy crap. That's a bear.
I couldn't find a. Look, I added it on very quickly. You know, it's a From Software franchise. The Togi 1 and 2. It never survived past those first two games. But, like, they're pretty cool games.
It looks pretty cool. I think.
There's a lot of like destruction in this thing, especially.
So, Chris, we have a Destiny question for you.
Okay.
So, that was Lance Reddick's character at the end of the trailer, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that like his final performance, or like did they find a replacement
Lance Reddick's final performance?
Or Lance
Yeah.
Reddick's final performance
as
in
that
Destiny.
character?
I don't. I don't. They've recast Zavala, who is
Okay.
the character that he plays.
I didn't know.
So Lance Reddick died not long after Lightfall came out. He died in season 20, I think, which is like 3 seasons ago. And at the time, he had content recorded up through that season, and then I think they said maybe 1 or 2 seasons. Like he had done work. They're like usually like a year ahead, so he had done like 2 or 3 seasons worth of stuff.
Okay.
I don't know.
If, doing a Toby stream?
I don't know if he's in final shape. But I don't think he is. The actor that they replaced him with is another famous character actor, named Keith David.
Oh,
So,
okay. All right. That is a perfect fit.
Keith David, Lance Reddick and Keith David were like friends and stuff too. So like, he took it on.
And that's great. That's great.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. But I don't know. I know if you go to the tower right now and talk to Zavala, his like random voice lines are all still, Lance Reddick.
Okay. So hyped for a Togi.
Yes, Brad.
Sure.
Now you understand the reference.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
I feel educated.
And like, Lance Reddick was like really into Destiny, like was into it and was active in the community and stuff.
What about Horizon?
Oh, okay. I'm sure he was.
He's real. Big sad. Big sad.
Big sad.
Horizon. Yeah, we don't talk about Horizon anymore.
You shut your fucking mouth.
It was a funny meme at first, but then Elden Ring came out and we were just like, no, actually this is just getting awkward. Just go away.
You shut your mouth. I really can't wrap my head around that. But anyways, whatever.
Wrap your head around what? A lot of people are bored by Horizon.
It's crazy to me. It's literally like one of the most drop dead gorgeous games ever made about fighting giant robot dinosaurs in a big open world. I can't, and it's got like tons of really cool lore. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that like people are so indifferent to it, because it's pretty fucking fantastic. I just can't.
Because it plays like a guerrilla game. I mean, I don't know.
What the fuck does that even mean? I've never played. I've played like a little bit of Killzone. I don't even. It's not even. Oh my god.
You like
Horizon's overarching story is there and it's good.
It's good, and the fucking dude, the gameplay, the combat gameplay in Horizon is fucking incredible. I don't get it.
Some people don't like it. I don't know.
But like, I feel like people
I
don't know.
I really liked it while I was playing. It didn't stick with me after. You know?
Have you ever seen that video about like actually Horizon's really ugly and here's why I think it's ugly?
No, and I would never watch said video.
I would never submit myself to that propaganda.
Exactly.
And it's nothing to do with Aloy being ugly or anything. The actual like fidelity of the graphics. And, like,
why
color palettes and stuff.
Why would I want to do that? Why would I do that to myself?
Well, because it's actually kind of interesting. I don't even know if I agree with the take, but it's actually kind of interesting. How kind of like over designed.
I think there's something to be said for a lot of, like, okay, take that. What was the game that you said looked like Uzui or whatever that Xbox game was?
Kunitsugami? Otogi?
Yeah. Otogi. No, the game that looked like Otogi.
Kunitsugami. Yeah.
Kunitsugami, right? Had like a really kind of evocative, splashy art style. Now, I'm not saying that like all games need to have like super vivid color palettes to have like good design, but there is this like weird thing where like games get like AAA games, especially first party games, get like wrapped up in photorealism to the point where like everything just kind of like, you know, a photorealistic mountainous terrain is neat, but like it's just like a lot of earth tones and a lot of like you know, like I'm not saying that Horizon looks bad. I'm saying there is this like opposite effect where it's like you're kind of designing your graphical experience around realistic fidelity, and it's not just video games. It's like you see that in movies, you see it in like photography and in art, where like you're trying so hard to capture something that is there that like you're missing the feeling for the realism. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I do, but I don't think that's. I don't feel like that's Horizon.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Horizon.
I don't think
pushes so-
Horizon's an ugly game. I don't think it's bad to
No.
look at or anything at all. I just don't know.
I'm just saying I saw a take that actually did say it was kind of ugly, and it was interesting the take that there was a take to say such a visually
But
high
also, if you
fidelity
take the
game is
visuals out
actually
of it, it really is some of the coolest, most exciting like action
Sure.
combat I've ever played.
maybe.
Sure.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
I
Okay,
can't
anyway,
tell you because I barely touched the series.
I'll be right back. Get ready to record.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
barely touched that motherfucker.
You know what's an ugly game? Dragon's Dogma 2.
Okay, easy, buddy.
It's at 30 FPS, man. It's just like, this is 2024. That's unacceptable. We should boycott.
I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know. Maybe I'd be more into it if I was controlling E from Stellar Blade. You feel me?
If she had big jiggly boobies
Yeah.
and was
Then
like,
the game wouldn't be so ugly.
it was like into me.
I hate that I'm in the middle of this conversation.
Are you gonna play Stellar Blade, Chris Davis?
Probably not.
No. The fuck?
People did get a little
Line in the sand, Chris Davis. You gotta choose. You know,
Choose
Yeah.
what?
Stellar
Yeah.
Blade or Hades
Stellar
2.
Blade, or fuck, marry, kill. No, fuck or get her fired from her job. You got to choose.
What?
Yeah.
We're living in a post Sweet Baby Inc. world, Chris Davis. You can't be wishy washy about this shit.
It's the
No.
journalists and the DEI consultants
Yeah.
and all the woke,
I hate this so much.
all the
So here's my problem. I'm buying a house. I have to save up for closing costs. So my fund budget is essentially going away for the next
Chris Davis,
6 months.
shut the fuck up. Listen,
Dead
I'm
serious.
sorry, but every other week you come on here saying I stubbed my toe. I gotta save up my money. It's some bullshit. And now it's like I bought a house.
Well,
you gotta save
hey,
up.
don't yell at him. Yell at fucking Joe Biden.
That's true. That's
Look.
true.
Tell them to cut my closing costs in even half, and I'll be able to start doing stuff. Like I will
Tell 'em.
buy games.
Get a good realtor.
I just,
I'm
I'm going to prioritize
Tell
my
him to
back
stop
catalog.
buying bombs.
I'm going to prioritize my back catalog, and I'm going to play games that are $30 or under, pretty much. So you find me a deal for a game, okay? We'll
I'm
talk.
just saying.
Wait,
You've
did
been-
you seriously
This has
buy
been
the
your this has been your
complete-
company line for years. It's like someone keyed my car. I'm on a budget.
Did you buy
You know,
the
I got-
complete Godzilla collection?
Wait, what Godzilla question?
Did you buy a Godzilla collection?
The Criterion?
When?
I bought it like when it first came out. That was a legal obligation. I had to.
When did that come out?
Like 4 years ago?
Oh.
Hmm.
Somebody said you bought the complete Godzilla collection. Like it was a gotcha.
It was not last year.
Damn, dog.
It was way
Over here blowing
No.
smoke up our ass.
Can I ask you something? Were
lying.
you in the process of like I'm gonna buy a house when you purchased the full price 63 on Metacritic Alone in the Dark?
No, actually. I pulled the trigger on the house last week.
What do you mean pulled the trigger? You sure? Well, okay, but you've been like planning this, right? You
Right.
didn't just wake up
You
one
didn't
morning.
just,
and go,
you're
"I'm
like,
gonna
oh,
buy a
I
house
got
tonight."
enough money for a down payment in my bank account. Better go buy a house.
Yeah, and then I realized exactly what I was getting into once the paperwork came up. Like, I had no idea what fucking closing costs were, and like paying down points to get your mortgage rate lower. You have no idea how insane that shit is.
That sounds
Well,
illegal.
I do.
Brad knows.
Oh, I do.
And Nick knows.
I'm just saying, you didn't wake
If
up
you're a
one day and
Zoomer
buy a
in
house.
chat watching right now, you're never going to know, unfortunately. That's just the fucking way the world is now.
Well, I mean, some of them have rich parents. I'm sure, maybe.
Yeah, but then they're still not gonna know because their parents.
First of all, Sonji. First of all, Sonji, I don't live in a condo anymore. I did buy a home.
Yeah.
So
He sold
Yeah.
that
You-
condo.
So you shush.
Also, Nick has a nice home. I've been to his home.
And he's
so-
gonna sell this home for a mansion someday.
But I also have to save up to move out of town in order to have a house, which I hate. Kinda
Okay,
hate,
dude.
I guess.
All right, buddy.
Like, that's another.
Oh boy, and here I am holding it down in Austin, the only one who still lives here.
The only
yeah,
one.
pretty much.
The only,
Yeah, live in Austin,
you
not my Texas.
What's the square footage on that house, Nick? What are we talking about here?
How big's
Chris
that
Davis
postage
said you got a
stamp?
nice house. Come on, man. Share the square footage.
The fact that Brad lives so close to me and has had several opportunities to come to this house and has
Never come
never. I've been to Brad's house. Think about this. I have
That's
been
several
to Brad's
opportunities.
house.
Hey, not several opportunities. You can invite me over anytime you wanted.
Well, let's
You
flip
know?
the script. Brad,
like-
what is your square footage?
No. Here's the thing. Nick was like, one day, years from now, I'm gonna have a get together after I bought this house, and then I'll invite you. And then both my kids were sick, and I'm sorry that was the only time you invited me to your house.
Well, why
But
are
my
your kids
kids get
getting
sick
sick all the time, huh?
Yeah.
What's that all
Why are you
about?
pre-scheduling your sick kids?
What are you
Stop
doing
it.
to them?
Fucking disgusting. Kids are fucking.
They literally
disgusting.
eat dirt.
All right, I'm recording.
Oh, were we still doing that?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna do one segment. We're gonna do a short
Woo!
one segment
Yeah,
podcast.
we're literally just talking about this fucking Eiyuden shit.
Fantasy Critic.
Do we want to talk
And we'll
about
talk
Fallout at all?
about. I mean, what do you?
Who's?
I
I
haven't
watched one
finished
episode.
Fallout
What
yet.
else are we gonna say?
I haven't finished
Unless
Fallout
Crispy
yet.
started it.
And
I
Crispy
haven't.
hates Fallout.
No,
I
we
don't
fucking
hate
said it.
Fallout, you
I'm
fucking
kidding.
slander.
I'm kidding.
I hate Todd Howard.
Fair.
Malia-
And even that is like maybe only half deserved.
Do I
Malia
sound
fell
louder
asleep.
now?
So a little bit, yeah.
sound all right.
Actually,
Okay.
you sound better. No, we watched the first episode last night, 2 nights ago, last night,
Okay.
and I don't know. I thought it was okay. Malia fell asleep. I asked her like, "So do you want?"
Everybody got
She's
really
"What do you mean, want
excited.
to?"
Everyone got really excited like when they were like watching the first 1, 2, 3 episodes, and now that like people have finished the series, I'm hearing a lot of like, "That was pretty good."
I'm on
Like,
episode 7. Of 8.
I finish it and I share that it's
And
pretty good.
Pretty good.
No, I
Is
mean,
it
I think it's
pretty
great.
good?
I'll tell you, it's weird. I didn't expect this to happen, but like, Robin and I don't have a lot of crossover in terms of what we like to watch on television. It is when we do watch stuff together. Sometimes, as much as
How
we
do you
enjoy
make it
doing
work?
it, it's kind of like pulling teeth to actually find the time to do it, because either
Sorry,
she's
she
not in the
won't
mood
sit
to watch
down
it,
and
or I'm
watch
not
your-
in the mood to watch it. She is like, every night she's like, "You want to watch Fallout? You want to watch Fallout?" And I'm just like, that's never happened to me before. Whereas like we're both wanting to watch the same show, and she is the one coming to me being like, "You want to watch an episode?" And I'm just like, "What
Can
is
you blame?
happening?"
You're
Can
saying
you-
that Fallout is saving your marriage?
Yes.
Can you blame Robin when all you ever want to watch on the TV is violent pornography, Nick? I mean, really? You kind of broaden your horizons a little bit.
Violent pornography. Choking chicks
Oh,
and
man.
sodomy. The kind of shit you get. Oh, wait, I better not finish that. We don't want to get copyright
Yeah,
struck.
that'd be a bad idea. 1 second.
All right, I've got OBS recording.
Okay, I can record now.
Oh, Conan's travel show's out now, isn't it?
Oh, did you
I
watch
haven't
his Hot
watched
Ones
that.
episode?
Yeah. Oh my god,
That was good,
he's
that was
so good.
After
Dude, oh my god. Like
Y'all-
when he was like, it was funny when he was putting the wings in his pockets, and then when he made the doctor start putting the wings in his pocket.
Yeah.
you know, it's funny, I was laughing really hard at that, and unfortunately, my wife hates Conan O'Brien.
Really?
How the
Wow.
Hates
You
him.
know what's wild? I saw a tweet when everyone
You
was
bring
talking
that up
about
in
that
court
Hot
one
Ones.
day. When it,
Yeah,
if it ever gets to that point, Nick,
that's
you
like,
pull
yeah.
that one out in front of the judge and say she hates Conan O'Brien.
If you
You'll
guys
get
ever move
everything.
to one of those states that don't have no fault divorce, like that's your out. She hates Conan, Your Honor.
By the way, my wife asked me to say hello to everybody, and it's because every
Hello,
week before
Robin.
we record the podcast, she's like, "Say hi to the boys for me," and I'm like, "Will do," and I never do it.
That's true.
And she I went back there, and she was getting ready to go to bed. She's like, "Did you say hi to them?" And I was like,
Betrayed
No.
her trust.
"So, hey guys,
wow.
that's Robin."
Maybe Fallout really is the only thing keeping you guys together.
Yeah, it's hanging by a thread. Just fucking
I would
Todd
have said
Howard
hello
saving our
back, but
marriage.
I would have said hello back, but I just found out about how she feels about Conan O'Brien. So
I saw a
don't know how
tweet. I saw a tweet that made a really good point about Conan O'Brien when everyone was talking about his Hot Ones episode, and that was that, like, even if Conan had never gotten into late night, if he'd never like become this big famous media personality, he'd still be the guy that wrote Marge versus the Monorail, that episode of The Simpsons, which would still make him one of the funniest people of the 21st century.
It's
Oh,
true.
okay.
It's true.
Because that's a
It's
great
so-
episode of The Simpsons, guys.
It's so funny too because his bit on Hot Ones was great, but he's one of those people who, he didn't watch the show, right?
Can't-
He's too like
can't turn it
important.
off.
So he didn't know that the bomb was the bomb, and everyone who
Yeah.
watches the show
It was
knew.
like, no.
This is a
Because he was
great bit, but he
slopping
has
it on
no
every
idea
single one
about-
of them.
He was, yeah, that was
He
insane.
like,
Oh,
dude, he
yeah.
was like, he's like a jackass level performer where he's just like, I will fucking cut my dick off if you think it's funny. Like, he was sitting there just like slopping it on every wing.
Oh no, it became a different kind of bit after that. But
Yeah.
he kept going. It was great.
He did.
all right.
It's a showman.
I've been recording. I'm gonna restart
All
my
right.
recording, but we need to go. We really
Everybody,
need to go.
please restart your recording. I'm recording.
The sauce got under his wedding ring and burnt the shit out of it for days.
Holy fuck.
Jeez.
Recording.
Recording.
All right. Brad, are you recording?
Man, I'm always recording.
All right. Roll call starts now. Brad,
Hello.
Crispy,
Hello.
Chris Davis.
Hello, this is Chris.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 791. It is April 23rd, 2024. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, joined by Brad Simons,
Hello.
Christopher Guthridge.
Hello. What?
I don't know. I always feel silly going straight from the roll call and then getting to the official roll call so quickly.
You forced
is
my
silly.
roll call to be long and annoying, so I'm gonna recreate.
The
it's
only
just gonna be
reason-
a copy of whatever my roll call is gonna be.
The only reason why we did it is to get into E3.
That is, I don't think that's accurate. I don't think that's
No,
accurate.
remember
Anyway,
that was like a rule to apply for press access.
I
You had to
remember
be-
this.
You
yeah.
had to
we had
submit
to
a
say our
podcast where like your name is said within the first like 30 seconds of the podcast or some shit.
which is silly
Or 2
in and of
minutes.
itself. There's so many ways around that, but
yeah,
anyways.
E3's dead.
E3 is dead. You know, oh god, that kind of makes me sad. But at the same time, it's
What are you
kinda
talking
nice.
about? We fucking beat them. We outlived them.
we did outlive E3.
At what
Also, Chris
cost, though?
Davis is joining us.
I'm
tonight.
also here. Hello.
He is.
Silksong was playable at the last E3.
Yeah, dude, that still blows my mind. I shared this in Discord a while ago, but I was going through my phone trying to find E3 pictures for some reason, and I did like a scroll back. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I went back. I was like, oh my god, I forgot. I have a picture of me standing in line in the Nintendo booth of someone playing Hollow Knight Silksong.
which
I'm
could have been Nick, but he was like, Silk Song. I'm gonna go play Far Cry 5 or
At the time. At the time.
Okay,
Okay, that is a fair assessment, but
we've
at the
got an
time,
appointment at
that is
Ubisoft.
at the time, I don't think I had played Hollow Knight yet. I could be wrong.
wow. You
I
played
don't
that
know.
one late? You played that
Or
one
maybe
later?
I was actually in the act of playing it or something. I don't remember, but it felt to me at the time like, well, I'm pretty familiar with this. I don't know if I need to go play a demo for it right now. Little did I know that it'd be like fucking 5 years later, 6 years later, and we still haven't fucking seen that. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Quick, just wanted to mention we did something new tonight. So this podcast you're listening to right now, if you're listening to this not live, is going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to do one segment, but we did something new tonight on the stream. We opened. Usually we do like 30 minutes of just shooting the shit and banter and getting, well, as people kind of stream in or whatever,
Arguing about Star Wars.
arguing
or
about
some
stupid shit.
Yeah.
This week we did something very fun, I think, which was a nice kind of like a warm up for the podcast, warm up for talking about video games. We did a trailer talk as a group. And I think it was a lot of fun. So
Trailer Talk Live.
you know, we did trailer talk live, and
It was
usually
a
it's just
long
Brad.
version. We'll
Yeah,
obviously in
cut
the
it down a
future if
little
we
bit.
do these, it'll be just be like, you know, not even.
I think at the like doing 2 or 3 trailers before a show is just a nice like warm up to get everyone's get the juices flowing. You know what I mean? Get us in the right mindset. So just keep that in mind if you want to tune in, catch these live. That's one thing
I
you'll
almost
benefit
added
from.
the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers trailer to the playlist.
Yeah, he updated that playlist live. We're watching a trailer for Kunitsugami, which is the new game from Capcom, and Brad went in there and because of a comment that Chris Davis said, and suddenly added a trailer for Otogi, which was such an hard to like parse trailer because it's like
I'll
from
get a better
YouTube
quality trailer next time.
but anything could happen. So just keep that in mind. We do record these podcasts live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/4Player podcast. Keep that in mind. Tune in. You'll catch Trailer Talk live potentially in the future. And yeah, like I said, tonight we don't have a ton to talk about. We're going to talk about Brad's been playing a bunch of Eiyuden Chronicles. Is it called Eiyuden Chronicles? 100 Heroes,
100
right?
Heroes.
Yes.
100 Heroes, which is the spiritual successor to Suikoden.
Yes.
And it's been a long time coming. And of course, we'll do a Fantasy Critic update and a 4-Player minute and all that stuff. But without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, fuck it, let's go.
Let's go.
Brad, let's
Eiyuden
talk
Chronicles.
about.
Y'all know I
yeah.
like my Suikoden.
I didn't know that about you, actually.
No, say it again. Say it right.
Suikoden. Yeah. Shout out to Mapali. Mapali owned you. Anyways. So Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, not to be confused by Rising, which was their sort of like Kickstarter bonus game, that actually prequel game that came out a couple years ago. That was like kind of like a simple side-scrolling action game that I hear was like okay. This is like the main course, right? This is the big RPG spiritual successor to Suikoden.
The thing
Which
we've
is a
been waiting
series
for.
I hold near and dear to my heart. I know a lot of people who love, at least Suikoden 2. That's sort of like the one that people are like, this was a goat. This is the goat. And it is. But I actually kind of fan of that series as a whole. I mean, I really love 1, 2, and 3, especially. This one is a spiritual successor that was kickstarted, and it's very much a spiritual successor to those first 2 Suikoden games, like the early, semi-early PS1 games. At least the first one was. And yeah, it's kind of hard to, talk. I don't know. This one's tricky, right? Because it's a game that I've been waiting for a long time, and it is in the people who want this game. I mean, the people who this game is for are like Suikoden fans, but like that's like a pretty small like niche, right? Indie or throwback JRPGs, both like indie and not indie, are kind of, they're fairly common, right? So it's not like, I feel like when early in Kickstarter's life, you saw a lot of like kickstarted like point and click adventure games, kickstarted CRPGs, kickstarted N64 style platformers, right? And I feel like they were all these games that have been gone for like a long time, or it was the kind of game that publishers didn't want to green light. So everyone went to Kickstarter and they're like, we'll do it here because the fans exist and they want this. And but the truth is, like with JRPGs, even like these retro style JRPGs, Square Enix makes them, indie developers have been making them, and you've seen a lot on Kickstarter. But like in 2024, like it's not unique to have a throwback style like JRPG, right?
No.
Um, but like the thing is, Suikoden is something that is very like distinct. It's a little bit different from your average JRPG, and like this is there foot? Oh yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, it's playing.
This is very much in that formula, right? The thing is, it's also like got some. It also feels a little dated, like an old JRPG. You see a modern JRPGs like so look at like Octopath Traveler 2 or Sea of Stars or like shit that came out recently, right? Like those two games. Like those are very extremely polished games with like a lot of quality of life options, you know, like they look like a game from the 90s, but it doesn't really play like a game from the 90s. It doesn't feel like a game from the 90s. It just feels like a game from 2024.
I mean, I
you know
feel
what
like
I'm saying?
the whole idea of revisiting this style of game and making it in the year of our Lord 2024 is literally to capture the essence of those games, but like with the quality of life
Modernize
enhancements,
it.
right?
Yeah. So this feels like a very faithful Suikoden game, and it's like Suikoden like through and through. Like it you know, you're going all over the world trying to recruit people to your army. You have your own castle. Your castle grows with you as you hire people or as you recruit people, and they'll kind of live in your castle, and like you expand that castle, and it's that game, right? And like the story and the characters, like there's like really zany characters, and like they'll have different like things that they might need you to do before you can recruit them. Like it's so very Suikoden, and in good ways, right? Like ways that kind of at first I was a little frustrated with this game because it doesn't have like the quality of life that you see in a lot of like modern takes on this style of game. In a lot of ways, it feels like a PS1 RPG, right? Like you have to hard save at save points, right? And they want you to they want that kind of design, right? They want you to
Is this like
struggle
a
through a dungeon, you know, with you know the items that you bought way back in town.
is this
And
like a stubborn thing though? Like are they being
no,
like
they're like a Dragon's Dogma kind of thing. They're doing it on purpose, I think. Like they don't want this. They don't want you to save anywhere. It's so easy to let you do that. You can't even save on the world map. You have to find a save point to save, right? Which is a very like. It's not like that's a problem. I mean, granted, I am
Okay.
playing on hard, but I could see that people thinking like they want a throwback style JRPG, picking this one up and going like, oh no, this isn't just like a throwback style JRPG. This is very much like one of those. Um, so it's kind of lacking some of like the quality of life that you expect, right, from a modern game. But and I'm fine with that, right? Like design sensibilities, right? Dragon's Dogma, right? Like take me back to the olden days where we cared more about the journey, whatever, right? That's fine. But it's also like, and this might just be the fact that it's more of like a budget like Kickstarter style game, but like let me give you an example. This is one of like the most frustrating things for me is like the dialogue in the game, right? Which by the way, fully voice acted,
fully
right?
voiced?
Which is great. This is a game where you recruit 100+ characters to your army and they all have like fully voiced dialogue. Wonderful. I love that. You know, Suikoden 5 had that and it seemed even impressive. That seemed impressive even back then, and like honestly it still feels impressive, right? You know, we play games like Persona, right? Like some of the biggest budget JRPGs in the world, and there's still like a ton of dialogue that's not voiced there. So, and you know, they could probably afford it. Or like Zelda, right? You've heard me rant about that. Like I'm glad that these are fully voiced characters, especially because like there's some pretty like crazy out there characters. There's a magic user lady that I recruited, and she's basically okay. Now, when I say this is a dated reference, that's an understatement. But are you familiar with the character from Police Academy who is like a tiny, like unimposing woman with a really
Yeah.
sweet voice? But then,
And then at the end, she's like,
dirtbags, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
There is a character
yeah.
who is basically that in this game, who's like a little imposed, like not imposing, like cleric or whatever. But then she'll like flip out and like her voice will change and she'll start screaming at the people. And I'm like, this is kind of funny. Like it's just a little gimmick. But the fact that it's like fully voiced with like this character who like goes all in, it's like, you know
Is
what?
her name Francesca? Is that who Pocop is
Yeah,
referring to in chat?
Francesca. Yeah, she's wild. And then there's another character who's just like a Sailor Moon character. And it's like fully like, you know, the story doesn't really explain it, but like she's just
Like a magical girl?
a magic girl. Yeah, that's what she calls herself, and that's what she is, and she talks like that. And like the first
Does she have
story,
the like transformation sequence when
she's like in full magic girl all the time.
Oh,
But it's funny
Boo.
because I, you know, she'll do like her magic schoolgirl, like she'll be talking like a magic girl, not school.
She'll be
girl,
talking like a
like a Sailor
magic
Moon character.
schoolgirl.
And like when she'll do an ability, she'll like yell at something in battle, and like the other characters will be like, "What does that even mean?" Like, like they're it's just it's a quirky game with lots of quirky characters, and it's funny. And the first boss fight you get when you recruit her is like really cool. And I'll shout out the boss fights in this game. I did actually come up with a little short list of things where I do actually feel like in a lot of ways it is very faithful, and maybe like to a fault how much it's faithful to like old Suikoden, but there have been like some improvements that I do kind of appreciate, and I do kind of want to call them out. But I was kind of talking about the dialogue system that I find really frustrating, just to kind of paint the picture of when I say this game feels really dated in terms of like quality of life. It feels like an RPG of like from the PS1 era. You can set the game to like auto advanced dialogue, you know, so it plays automatically. You know, most games have that, right?
Which you can't
And
even do in Dragon's Dogma 2.
Sure. But like every other game that you've played in the past 2 decades, you can press a button to turn off auto advance. This game, you can't do that. You have to go into the menu to switch from auto advance to like press button advance, right? That's fine. Except when auto advance is on, you also can't pause the game. It just goes and you can't stop it. It's insane. And you can't switch it to stop playing auto advance. You also have no control over like and this one's more of a modern one, but like controlling the pause length between like those dialogue. I've noticed that in some more recent ones where you can like tweak the speed at which like kind of dialogue comes out. That one's a little more modern, I suppose. But the fact that you can't pause it, or the fact that you can't switch from auto advance on and off, that's been around in RPGs for like literally 2 decades. I think that's crazy. You also can't like when you have, so it's okay, fine, turn auto advance off, just press the button 9 million times. It makes like a beep sound every time you do that. You also can't turn that off, and that's like infuriating. So like I don't want to like press the button to advance the dialogue. It's like desperate need of like just go in there, tweak some settings, make this feel right. This game's not really, doesn't have that. It's not really concerned with that. And I don't know if it's a design thing or more of the fact that this is sort of like a Kickstarter game made on a budget and no one was really around for this small team to say, hey, maybe this is not cool anymore. But you know, some of that stuff's a little frustrating. And if it wasn't for like the Suikoden charm kind of like wearing me down, I'd probably be way more frustrated with it than I am. Like early on, I was like, come on, y'all, this is fucked up. Like to the point where I was like, do I need to wait for some patches? Because surely there's going to be enough complaints about this shit to where like, this is unacceptable. Like for example, again, in town, when you go up to an NPC and you press the button to like see their dialogue box appear, the text will start like appearing slowly. If you press it, there's no button to press it to make it all appear at once so you can read it. If you have auto advance on, if you have auto advance off, you can do it. But when it's on, if you press a button, you skip the entire dialogue and you're like, well, I can't read that because it's gone now. And I didn't want to wait for it to slowly appear.
Is there any indication this is a studio that's interested in fixing those kinds of things?
I don't know. So it's funny you say that because some of these Kickstarter teams that like get thrown together to like make a game that people really want, sometimes they feel like barely a studio. Like Bloodstain, for example, was a very successful Kickstarter, and they put out, in my opinion, a very successful product. In fact, there's 3 Bloodstain games, and they're all good, real good, with the 2 throwback ones and the Symphony of the Night one, right? Well, they're all throwbacks. The classic Vania games and then the Igavania one.
Which one's
All
the
great
ugly
games. To you, they would probably all be ugly.
True.
But
Touché.
there's two of them that look like NES games, and then the one that looks like whatever PS1 game. Anyways, they've had a lot of like updates since then because of like stretch goals, and it seems like they're just like barely getting those out the door years later, and they're like very bare bones. And it's like, how much of a team is actually here? Because it feels like it's getting awkward.
Like as soon as they shipped, they just disbanded, and there's like 4 people left.
Well, or how much or they just went on to like projects to like pay their bills, like I don't know. I don't really know how it works, but like, I would love a sequel to Bloodstain, and I hear it's coming, but like, what is that team? Where is that game? Is it like coming anytime soon? I have no idea. And this developer also recently said that yeah, they plan to work on a Eiyuden or 100 Heroes 2 or whatever. But
didn't they go beyond saying they want to do that? Isn't that game officially like they pretty much said that game is already in development or something?
I think that's what they said. Now, in February, I believe, the creator of, Murayama passed away, which is really sad. But a lot of there's other people who worked on Suikoden games like back in the day, who are still part of this team. So, and they plan to kind of continue on that legacy. So, it's exciting. I've been harping on these like this very specific sort of like negative to like kind of paint a picture of why this feels dated in a lot of ways, and it can be a little frustrating. And if it wasn't for the fact that I really love Suikoden, and the fact that they're really nailing the Suikoden vibe with the castle stuff, with the quirky characters and the recruiting, and again some of the improvements as well, like I would probably be holding it more against this game than I really am, because where I'm at now in this game, 15 hours plus in, like I'm just really enjoying my time with it. This is like, I know this game, I know this kind of game, and like it's absolutely for me. A lot of this is set up to say that like I don't know if this is for people who just want to play a throwback style JRPG, because there's a lot of those that feel really modern, that are a lot more accessible. This, I hate to say it, but I do kind of feel like this is maybe just for like Suikoden fans. Which
so if you've never played a
fine.
Suikoden game, like maybe
like I don't know if this is the one to run out and play, because in reality, like Suikoden 1 and 2 are getting a remaster. Like we've seen trailers for that. It's
I
probably
keep
coming
forgetting
out
that's
this
a thing.
year.
Yeah.
Like if you've never played Suikoden, play Suikoden 1 and 2 when that comes out, because that's probably going to be less than this. This is like a
have
$50
we
game,
ever have we heard anything about that in terms of like, is that like an HD 2D HD?
No, I mean,
remake
it's not,
kind of
it's
thing,
not
or is
like
it like
that.
a
There's a
remaster?
trailer. It's not a Square Enix fancy 2D HD 2D game. It's just a nice remaster. But we haven't heard it from it in a while. I mean, I'm sure it still exists. Why would it not exist?
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just
it's just been a while.
about it.
No, a lot of people have been like concerned by how long it's been since we've seen it. But that should probably come out this year. I don't know. I'm so excited to play that. I love those games. I also love the soundtracks in those games, especially
what about the soundtrack here?
There's some nice tracks here. It's not reaching those highs though, really, in my opinion. But there is like the occasion, like I think the castle theme's really good, and like that first town has a really good theme and stuff. And the battle system's pretty good. But like, man, back in the day, those themes, those town themes, the world themes when you're exploring the world, that shit was so fucking good. Seriously, some of my favorite game soundtracks of all time.
It's kind of the way I feel about like Final Fantasy soundtracks, in terms of like, I still don't feel like modern Final
well, those are just very different.
They're good. Yeah, they're very different.
This feels like it's evoking those old Suikoden soundtracks. They're just not quite nailing it.
Just not quite in the same level. Yeah, when it comes to Final Fantasy, I think they're good soundtracks. I just don't think they have the same like vibe, or like, I don't know. It just
the vibe is very different. But like, you also like don't easy what you say about like the composer of 14 and 16, because people will kill you for saying that like that shit ain't good enough.
I didn't say it's not good enough. It's just not the same, and I've been waiting for them to kind of like.
It's different. This I don't think is different. I just think it's not quite. Like
Suikoden. Did he say something shitty about Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack? First of all, no. Second of all, it's great.
I mean, I don't disagree. I think those soundtracks are pretty good.
So I need to
it's
play.
not 9, baby. Sorry.
Dude,
Well,
I don't know. I think you should listen to some of the expansion soundtracks because
I
that shit
actually,
gets
I'm not
fucking
gonna,
crazy.
I'm not even lying, Crispy. I have like I have like a massive gaming playlist on like Apple Music or whatever, and I threw in almost all of
The
the Final Fantasy
Shadowbringers
14.
theme, it's
I
so
threw
good.
in all the 14. I've never played Final Fantasy 14, well beyond like level 20 or whatever. I have all those soundtracks in there. I know they're good. I know they're good. They just don't have the I don't have the connections that I have with the other things, which
So
sucks.
look. I've been playing a lot of this game. I'm going to play a lot more of this game. Before we move on, I do want to run down because I made a little list here. I started because when I first was thinking about this game, I was like, okay, this is a lot like Suikoden 1 and 2, but really, what is it bringing new to the table? Is it just like, is it improving anything? Obviously maybe the music's not as good, but there are some things that I do think are actual improvements on like the formula from 1 and 2. First of all, there's this thing called like attendant characters where you have so you have a party of 6 characters, right? You also have a support unit, and this is in past Suikoden games where there are people you recruit to your town / castle that do things in that castle, but you can bring them along with you, not to battle because they're not really battle characters, but like bringing along like a shopkeeper might give you some bonus while you're exploring the world to whatever, right? you know More resources from this type of node because this is the character who deals with that type of resource back at the castle or whatever. But there's also these 3 extra slots called attendant characters, and these are specific slots for story related characters that you want to bring with you but don't necessarily want in your battle. Sometimes they're like forced on you, but the cool thing about this is because this happens a lot, right? Where stuff in the story's happening, you have to have these characters, including the main character. They're locked. They have to be with you. But you can slot them in the attendants, like the 3 slots of attendant characters, and not actually have to use them in battle. And this is cool because you can even do that with the main character. For every quest in the game, you can have him like never be in your actual battling party. If you say, for example, want to do a team of all cool ladies, like I always do, right? And I don't want that dude. Which is fine, which is I think is a cool, neat thing because I hate being in a game with so many characters. I hate being forced into using story characters that I don't really want to use in battle, because I'm min-maxing or I'm just being weird about cool lady characters, because that's just kind of how I play these games. I will say, though, another improvement is this game has difficulty settings, which is nice because Suikoden, I think, infamously is a pretty easy RPG series. So I immediately jumped to hard because I knew this was going to be a thing. And at first I was like, this is easy. I'm kind of sleeping through these battles, but I've been running into boss battles that have been kicking my ass now at the point I am in the game. And I'm like, I'm loving it, right? Because I'm actually having to think about battles and party composition. I went into a boss fight that was like damaging with like physical attacks, so painfully damaging with physical attacks, that my team of like ladies, and let me tell you, it's a little tropey, but in these games the ladies are usually like the fast characters or like the magic characters, right? And never like the beefy tanks. But I needed beefy tanks, so I swapped out all my ladies for the beef boys and destroyed that boss. But I was getting my ass kicked. I kind of had to do it, and it's silly, but I'm glad that the game pushed me to the point where like I had to give up on my own personal
You
handicap
had
of
to
only
make some
using
choices.
squishy ladies. Sorry, that sounds weird. Also, real quick, the fact that they show the battle order in combat is like a first for the series, but like actually showing the battle order is really nice because not only are you seeing when you and the enemy's going, so you're actually kind of seeing that speed chart, but like there are certain skills like using items or certain abilities that actually have like less of a like, not a casting time, but like, can move you up in that battle order, which again is just leading for battles to be, it kind of lets them be more challenging because you can be a little bit more tactical with it. And again, it's nice for a series that has always notoriously had a really simple battle system. They have found a way to add just enough complexity to where I actually get to think about combat and not constantly do auto battle, at least in boss battles. Again, full voice acting is nice. So upgrading your castle in Suikoden games, again, it's in all of them, but it usually comes from like it grows basically as you recruit characters. You'll recruit certain types of characters that will offer like certain services in your castle now, so you don't have to like find some random town to like, smith your weapons or whatever, right? And the castle grows as you recruit characters. But this game actually has sort of like a castle tech tree where you're actually like investing money and resources to actually add additions onto your castle, which is again a little thing, but like adding just a little bit more depth to that aspect, actually pretty smart. Again, boss fights really good in this game, can be really challenging, also have really cool gimmicks. They even call them like boss gimmick, like functions that you do in battle to like interact with certain things, like that magical schoolgirl battle. She dropped down like giant like magical tomes on each side of the battlefield and was like, yo, hit one of these tomes, and would like summon a cool like crazy like mech thing to like attack the enemy. But like the enemy kept shifting and I had to kind of guess which one to attack at the right time, and it was either going to be like a huge miss or like a really powerful attack. And it's just like, just again, traditionally very simple combat system with very simple like even like boss mechanics. They're adding just enough little like flavor and depth in there to kind of make it fun. I'm kind of enjoying it. Also, real quick, no silent protagonists. Almost every Suikoden game
Ooh.
has silent protagonists, and I fucking hate silent protagonists. Here you actually have a voice protagonist who isn't afraid to you know he's funny, he's goofy, I like him. He started to get into like the magical girl stuff when she was doing all her weird shit and doing the chants with her in that battle. And there's this one character who, her name is Periel, Lady Periel. She is like my queen. I haven't felt like as loyal to like some badass character since Meve from Queen Meve from Witcher Tales. You remember Witcher Tales, the Gwent RPG? Love
Yeah.
that. Meve was so, I haven't felt like as much loyalty when she's talking shit to like, this nation.
Is this the
that's
character that
warring
you said in
against-
Discord? You were like, I've been playing this game for like an hour and I've already found my wife. Like, is that?
Well, I've had many wives, but this is the one that I will die for, basically. Like I will fight for her for to the end. She's just a really well voice acted, written character, and she's awesome. I'm just a little worried because she reminds me of a character in the first Suikoden game that didn't, or who am I thinking of? Oh yeah, Odessa, who didn't meet like a great end. So I'm worried for this
You're
character
setting
because
yourself
again,
up for
it's
tragedy?
very similar. It's very similar to. There's a lot of similarities here, right? Like the main character is very much like the main character of Suikoden 2 and 1, and like his best friend slash enemy is very much similar to that character from Suikoden 2. So I'm seeing a lot of parallels here, and I hope she doesn't meet a horrible end, but I'm a little worried. But she's awesome. Periel,
It's
Lady
kind of a
Periel,
general question because I've
all-star
never played
character.
because I've never played Suikoden.
Yeah.
Is like kind of the overarching story of Suikoden worth asking about? Like, is it like do people care a lot about that story?
It's very, it's like very political, Game of Thronesy kind of stuff. A lot of like treachery and backstabbing, but there's a lot of like quirkiness to it as well. It's not as like dark as like a Matsuno story, but it is that sort of like territory. Obviously, I'm into that sort of thing, which is why I like Matsuno games. Why I like Suikoden. And this is that, right? It's a lot of like
with
warring
so many
nations and
with so many characters. Is there just like a huge chunk of swath of these characters that have like no actual like impact on like the larger story, or do they all somehow play a role?
So you
in
kind of
this?
have like a main cast, and again, this is every Suikoden game where you feel like there's a main cast, and you recruit a lot of characters, and for the most part, like they'll be around the castle, they'll have their things. When you're introduced to them, they're like have their fun, quirky moments, and maybe some of them will kind of like find their way into the story, but in reality, they kind of just become these characters that are
Supporting cast.
and they're not really there for like the big story moments. But again, one thing here, and it was actually the last thing on my list, so we can move on, is they are actually finding ways just to like give them a little bit of dialogue here and there. And maybe it's a little generic, but it's not always generic. And it is voiced to where, depending on who you bring with you, they'll have that like one of those random characters who are not part of the main cast chime in. And I'm like, okay, this is nice, because you almost never saw this in old Suikoden games, but I've noticed it more and more. I'm like, wait, why did she just say that? Because the game, I definitely didn't have to bring her. And I know it was only one line, but it's nice, especially because it was voiced. So like they either recorded a lot of these one-off lines for a lot of different characters, but it was nice to see like the shopkeeper that I bring with me, because it lets me swap out my characters at save points. That's like her support function, right? Chime in on like a story conversation, like not a big story moment, but it's like it's considered, because that's always been sort of the complaint. That was like like in a lot of JRPGs where you recruit a lot of characters, like Chrono Cross or something, right? Where you'll recruit the characters, but once they're in your party, it's like, well, the story can't accommodate all those characters, so they don't really become characters. They're not really characters anymore, just in battle, right? So it's neat. It's neat. So there are enough like cool, interesting improvements to, kind of like impress me as a humble Suikoden fan, to be
A
honest.
humble Suikoden fan.
Yeah.
Have you
Truth
found
be told.
Pocop
Now-
yet?
No, but he did post so Pocop famously goes hard on some Kickstarters. This is one of
Oh,
them.
is that?
So
oh my
he's
God.
actually an NPC in the game
what?
because he hit the backer level that put his NPC
In
in the
our
game.
very own
Wasn't,
community.
Wasn't Pocop the one that tried to get the jacket from the
Yeah, he
Wonderful
got the
101?
Yes, which
I don't think
he didn't
Pocop
get it, right?
Pocop's in chat.
Was that the wonderful
didn't get it.
101 jacket?
Yeah, Pocop.
That was
He never got the
sick.
jacket.
You never got the
Because he's
jacket?
Yeah, he never
Oh my
got it.
God.
That's another one of these Kickstarters where it's like,
no.
I'd
they mean
sue.
well, but it's like these companies that are thrown together, or like supporting companies that support these Kickstarters,
Come on, Kamiya.
they don't always have their fucking shit together, and it sucks because they screw over the people who like spend the most money on some of this shit.
Oh,
But
that
you know,
jacket
they can
looks
write it off
sick.
as saying like, we're just a Kickstarter, we mean well, and we want to hit all our goals, but in reality you're just given to the project, and it's kind of like a bullshit thing at the end of the day, and it's frustrating. But at least Pocop is in the game. Although,
That's cool.
Pocop, can you explain the name that you chose for your character? Because it's not
Oh, it's
just
not Pocop?
It's
Pocop.
Poocat Pocop. Poocat Pocop. I don't know the origin of Poocat, but you're in my Suikoden game now, breaking my immersion a little bit. So what the fuck?
My immersion.
What does Poocat mean?
Poocat, like Poocat. Poocat.
Yeah, what's the origin of Phuket? It's bad. I posted a screenshot of like a backer portrait. You see this in actually kind of a handful of JRPGs. I mean, Kickstarter games. There's like an actual like painted portrait on the wall of like one of the main, like in like the main first town, and it's just like, it's a fucking dweeb. I mean, we're Suikoden fans. We're fucking dweebs. And this dude's like king of the dweebs. And it's like, get out of my fucking game, dude. He's wearing like a polo. Come on, at least put on a tunic or something, you asshole. I don't know. Who's that guy? Is he like the number one backer? Fucking
Oh
dude.
my God.
And
Pocop
I
says.
didn't realize it. What's his name?
Pocop says it's mostly a joke I came up with when I became a VTuber. I was like, whatever, I'll be a cat, and poop is usually associated with cats.
A
So,
feces cat.
A feces cat.
Poocat?
Oh my God.
But man, I'm having a good time. Do I recommend it to everyone? I don't know. Maybe wait for some patches. Maybe wait for a sale. Maybe play the original Suikoden game. But even though I've been saying that, like, in our Discord on Era or whatever, I've had a lot of people kind of come back at me and say, look, dude, I never played those fucking games. I'm enjoying myself. So, fuck you. I'm like, okay,
Then-
more power to you. I mean,
fuck you. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not
there.
saying this is some like unplayable relic. I mean, I think a lot of RPGs from the PS1 era, Super Nintendo era, whatever, you could still go back and have a plenty, gay old time or whatever, right? I'm just saying, like, it feels a little bit different than something like an Octopath Traveler 2. And I just want to warn people going into it, you're going to have to be comfortable with something that feels like it's a little bit older.
Right.
Yeah, but I fuck, dude, it already is sort of like living up to my expectations, because I didn't expect this to be like I didn't draft this in Fantasy Critic, because what I expected for it is kind of where it shook out, honestly, in terms of Metacritic score or whatever. And I never, like, classic Suikoden games also scored around that, right? Suikoden 2, one of the most beloved JRPGs of all time. When it first came out, someone pointed out on game rankings for years until it got like a re-release on PS3, was this in a game in the 70s on game rankings, which is like in hindsight blasphemous. But also, it didn't look like Vagrant Story and Final Fantasy 9, so it didn't get those scores, right?
Maybe in 20 years we'll look back and we'll be saying the same thing about this game.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, Jason Schreier was disappointed, so that's like a big deal. Whatever. At least people are.
But he's like a
acting like it's
gigantic
big deal.
Suikoden fan, from what I understand.
He is.
Well, what does he know about video games?
Yeah, what is he?
He's only
Wait a
written
second.
several books about him.
I could have
Yeah,
sworn I
that was
saw Jason Schreier tweeting before he could even admit this is what he was playing, but we all
Donald
knew this
Trump
is what he was
wrote a book
playing.
about business.
I thought he was like having a love affair with this game. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Someone when he first started playing it, and he was saying like, "I can't wait to talk about this game in a couple of weeks when it was still under embargo or whatever." Like, yeah, it seemed like he was really vibing with it, which I am right now either. But like, he has since finished it and was saying, well, in the end, I was kind of disappointed with some of the story and the characters, and like, that's fine. Maybe he's right. I have not finished this game, which is why I'm not going to be one of these people who are like, well, fuck Jason Schreier. He likes Ni no Kuni too. People are like trying to undercut him and stuff. And I'm like, well,
What's wrong with Ni no Kuni too?
You haven't. Maybe he's fucking right, because you know what happened last year? Final Fantasy 16. He's like, yo, this game is dope. I'm loving it. But you know what? The story kind of falling apart for me. A little disappointed with it in the end. And this was before the game came out. People tore him a new one. Like, you motherfucker. How dare you disrespect Yoshi P and this and that. You has been. You love Ni no Kuni too. How dare you? And, in hindsight, most people would be saying, shit, Jason Schreier was right about 16. Fuck, that game is dog shit. He is on the more positive end now. But with pre-release, he was enemy number one just because he was being fucking honest. So I don't know. Maybe don't jump down the guy's throat till you're done with Eiyuden. But
This is definitely why we can't have nice things.
yeah, that's why we can't have nice things.
But yeah.
So, that's that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, who'd have thunk it? In the year 2024, we're playing, or not all of us, but a spiritual successor to something like Suikoden exists. That's pretty cool.
Honestly shocking.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Suikoden 6. We can call it Suikoden 6.
We can call it Suikoden 6?
It is that faithful.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right. Like I said, we're gonna keep it kind of short tonight. So we're gonna go. I want to do a Fantasy Critic update, and then we'll do 4-player minute. Fantasy Critic.
Treachery, you mean?
Wait, what?
Fantasy Critic treachery.
What is the
Nick.
treachery here? What is this treachery you speak of?
You.
Me?
I
What did you
really,
do?
really, really wanted Lorelei and the laser.
Yeah, no shit. We all did.
I know you did. Why do you think I bid $21 on that shit? I bid 21 hoping that maybe the highest someone would go was 20.
Find a preview. Find a preview that doesn't mention Oberdin, The Witness, Tunic, Fez. Like every single one of these previews is mentioning those games. And let me tell you, those are like magic words to me and everyone here, really.
Yeah, but
that means what that tells me
right?
is that this game is going to be special. That's what that game tells me. That's what that tells me. So,
and I'm coming. You're talking to someone who bounced off of Yearwalk and never played their follow up. I never played. What was it called?
Device 6. Device 6 is
yeah.
a very different game than Yearwalker and most of their other games.
But
in fact, this game is probably most similar to Device 6, like a pretty hardcore puzzle game.
It has contributed to their legacy, if you will. And Lorelei and the Laser Eyes wasn't even really on my radar until last year when somebody drafted it. I don't remember if it was drafted
me.
or if it was bid on later.
It was fucking me.
No, but was it a draft?
This shit.
Was it a draft or a later year pickup?
No.
Remember.
It was probably Drunken Merchant who's kind of been standing this game. It's like, why aren't y'all drafting this? Why aren't y'all drafting this? And last year, hindsight, the game didn't ship, so it's kind of good that we didn't. But it's funny. I had this conversation with Nick, and I feel like if I didn't have this conversation, maybe he wouldn't have spent as much money. But I was like, no, Nick, he's right to be excited. Simogo has like never shipped anything lower than an 80. Like this is a developer to like watch for. Like this shit is a guaranteed dub. Like I know a lot of people aren't talking about it, but like This is a sleeping giant. I feel like we had that conversation, and now I'm kicking my own ass because
Well, I'll tell
maybe
you this,
this
I
one would have
wasn't
floated under the
thinking
radar
of-
a little bit for you.
I was not thinking of that conversation when I decided to bid on this. It was mostly just because there was a flood of previews and
Yeah, there
and
was.
positive
If you're
chatter.
if you're on Twitter or whatever, then you would have seen that.
And I know so many people have been like, you're a crazy person for not playing Year Walk. It's fucking amazing, and I know that's
Dude,
true.
Now that Brad
Also makes-
mentions it, Device 6 was also pretty wild. Like
Yeah.
that.
And I looked that up too. I looked up Year Walk and Device 6, and I think Device 6 had like a mid 80s. I think in
Yeah.
Open
No,
Critic.
Device 6 has a 92.
Oh, then
So no,
the deciding factor.
Sayonara Wild Hearts is at like an 86, I think. Or
Oh,
85.
that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm.
They made
thinking of.
Sayonara
Okay.
Wild Hearts, which is again a banger from a few years ago. I love that.
But
game.
also a game that has a very distinct personality,
Interesting.
and I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm just, I don't. The funny thing is, like, I don't even know how I truly feel about this game because I've never actually played one of Simogo's. Is it Simogo's? What the studio's called, right?
Yeah, some
Like, I've never played one of their games and had it stick with me.
Nick, but this is the one for you. This is like The Witness meets classic Resident Evil.
I know
This
that's certainly helping.
Yeah, this
So-
is the one.
You'll never love it like I would, Nick. You'll never appreciate it the same way.
Well, it's on my list, so I'm the only one who can truly love it.
Bullshit.
Okay.
You
Well,
have
because
to
you
give
had
it to
$21.
me.
I literally did not have.
This was my
Granted,
first.
I have to buy a
bid.
super drop, but see, this is why with the super drop is interesting, right? Because it means we can't be crazy with our money, and it was to the point where I could have maybe outbid you, but I would have not been able to afford the super drop, and I need to have that option. So it's like
I feel pretty good about my last two pickups. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah. Now, I got a pickup as well. That honestly, I bid on SteamWorld Heist, not expecting to get it, but I wanted to force
SteamWorld
the bid
Heist
because
2.
SteamWorld Heist 2, I assumed that people would outbid me. I only did like $2, and it was honestly the point was for it to be a distraction, so people would bid on that and
Instead of
won't pay
Lorelei?
too much attention to like Lorelei, because I didn't want to only bid on Lorelei and have that be the only bid for the week, especially after this indie.
I almost
thing.
bid on both. I'm gonna be honest.
All right, well,
Yeah.
when I start actually playing Fantasy Critic this summer, you guys are in trouble.
You
okay?
I was
Son of
gonna
a
say, because I wondered. I was like, Lorelei,
I
sure,
just-
I could see that one flying under the radar, but why didn't people bid on Heist 2? There's a lot of people on our podcast that really liked that first SteamWorld Heist game, right? So why are they?
I have
Nolan
been
would've gone
so
for it
out of the loop
immediately.
for the last like 2 months. I just
Yeah, Nolan must have been busy. He was just not, because I
He's got a lot
love
going on right
Heist
now,
1.
so-
I think Heist 1 is their best SteamWorld. It's that dev's best game. And I'm super excited for this sequel. So, but I really didn't expect to get it because I don't have a lot of money left. So I just did a couple.
What are you
bucks.
at, money wise?
Not counting the super drop,
Super drop? Yeah.
I have
So you-
$15. Now, here's the thing. I'm confident I could pick up games for $1 because later in the year, I mean, there's a million cool looking indies, right? I'm not worried about that. But if you look at my list, and I'll do this real quick. So pre Heist 2, I had 4 empty slots, right? But if you look a little closer at my list, and at the ones I've drafted, Hollow Knight might not ship. Unannounced Mario platformer is probably not going to ship. That rumored Astrobot game might not exist. Mina the Hollower has a good chance of not coming out. So not only did I didn't have 4
Suddenly you have
slots.
8
I needed
slots
to
to
make
fill.
sure I had enough money for potentially 8 slots. And at that point, it's like, so when I made the decision to put down $10 for Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, I had $17 to buy 8 games. And I put down $10 for Lorelei, which was giving me $7 to pick up the rest of the potential 7 games that I needed in the worst case scenario. That's how confident I was. It was all of my money when I put down $10 for Lorelei. I really wanted it.
It's getting interesting, but I feel like Crispy and Carlos maybe. I don't think Carlos has drafted anything. Maybe I could be wrong.
I've tried.
also-
I've
I don't understand
tried.
Carlos.
What did you
Because
try for?
stuff like Braid Anniversary, it's like that's such an easy dub. Why aren't
Took
people
one or
throwing money
two
at it?
things from me, Nick. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. Carlos and Crispy have not picked up anything. Ed is down a game, so he needs to. So it's almost like he hasn't picked up anything.
I'm gonna end up dropping a lot of this. I mean, some of this stuff.
By the way, I see somebody in chat, Gleeger in chat asked if there's a link to the list. I will say yes. You can do two things. If you want to see a link, if you want to see all of our current lists, you can go to 4playernetwork.com. There's scroll down a little bit. I have the Google Doc that I personally update. Is there where you can see all of our lists side by side. You can also go to the welcome channel in Discord, and there's a link to all of the Fantasy Critic, the community leagues, and our league as well.
Yeah, you both have stolen games from me, you motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah, I have.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you took Lorelei. Well, I didn't really bid on that, but I still consider it a steal. But Brad fucking scooped Satisfactory, which is not fair because I've put like 30 hours into that game. I know it's gonna be good. Yeah. You're full of shit.
What was it that I stole?
I got spendy on that.
I know I stole something.
He's running out of money, so you'll be able to swoop in and pick some stuff up pretty easily.
Look, I'm gonna be bidding $1 for like all kinds of indies. So
it is only April.
No, Chris Davis.
We can't all be Chris Davis with a full list in April or almost full list.
It's crazy to look at our community leagues because
Chris Davis, you didn't take anything from me this year.
But they're also
one thing. You outbid me for like City Skylines 2 or something last year, and I didn't even want it. I just like bid on it because I felt like I needed to fill out my list, and that was like August or something. I don't know.
Are you Venture Industries? No, that's
no.
Okay.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No, he's the.
There's so many.
Eiyuden Chronicles is 76. That's 6 points.
Yep. And again, a few weeks ago we did an episode where we kind of dedicated a segment to just kind of going over all the community leagues. So again, thank you to everyone in the community who's playing along this year. It's been a lot of fun. We will do a check-in with the community leagues again, probably by the end of June or so. I think we're gonna try and do those every 3 months or so.
I'm calling out Ed too. I feel like where was Ed on some of these bids?
I'm calling you out.
I feel like Lorelei would have been. He would have spent money on that. I mean, that's his type of game as well. So like, where's Ed?
Tis true. But he's got some heavy hitters on his list too.
Yeah, we'll just watch out when Space Marine 2 comes out at the end of this year.
Fucking Stellar Blade, which is on Ed's list, is coming out.
Which I counterpicked, so I need it to be really bad.
Chris Davis needs Stellar Blade to be bad.
Stellar Blade?
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like tragic or anything. If that's what you're expecting.
I'm gonna guess Stellar Blade 74.
I'll take 74. That's acceptable.
Y'all want to see? There's an era poll for what score predictions.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Have you seen it?
Was predicting low 80s.
It's not looking good for you.
I could also see that. By the way, hello to Ninja Kitty Cat in chat for being first time chatter. Anyways, is that all for Fantasy Critic we have right now? I mean, pretty high profile pickups and stuff. And guys, I feel like we're kind of entering. Well, I say we're entering kind of a lull in terms of news, but at the end of in May we have a big Microsoft indie thing, which Chris Davis has pointed out he thinks Silksong could be there, but some of us also think that it could also be in
rated
June.
in 2 different regions. It's coming out.
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be the indie thing, or it's gonna be like a major showpiece during their big June showcase.
Maybe Microsoft. There's no world
it's
where
100%
Microsoft
gonna be a
doesn't
Microsoft.
hand them enough money to because it's a Game Pass thing. They've featured it at major shows before.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no way.
No doubt it's coming.
Now the thing is, did they give them enough money to shadow drop it? Because shadow dropping Silksong is big enough to where it doesn't need like a marketing cycle. Honestly, it's huge.
Got a built-in marketing cycle.
It's a big deal. And enough money from Philly Spence, maybe it'd be a shadow drop, which is crazy.
Nobody's
right?
ever said Philly Spence before.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Old Philly cheese stick.
Philly D.
Yeah. So my point is, we're kind of in like a slow part of the year in terms of like news and stuff because I think everyone's kind of holding stuff back for the usual non-E3 showcases, which are coming up here pretty quick. I think there's even a rumored
the
Sony
fall
presentation
is-
here in May.
The fall is just such a big mystery for this year of releases.
Just
It's
mean, it
almost
feels like
always
it.
a mystery.
look at Pio's list, man. There's all kinds of shit coming.
Actually, yeah, I even have there's actually quite a bit of stuff that already have dates for the fall.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the big names, the Sonys and Nintendos of the world, like
Here, let me tell you. This is I would say we have Black Myth Wukong, Star Wars Outlaws, Stalker 2, Warhammer
Black Myth
Sport-
Wukong's gonna fucking pop.
Space Marine 2,
I mean,
Space Marine 2 is gonna pop.
Shadow of the Erd Trees in June, baby. There's
Hey,
a lot of stuff, man.
That's
when does
DLC.
Metroid Prime 4 come out?
yeah, that's the thing. You think that we're gonna run into these like June showcases and they're not gonna have like big games for the fall? Like, look, every year is like this. We'll be fine.
It's gonna be
There's
a
gonna be a new
bloodbath.
Astrobot
we'll have plenty of-
platformer that comes out this fall.
Chris Davis isn't gonna be fine.
Well, Chris Davis won't be fine.
Damn,
He's got the
Chris.
Indiana Jones game though. Is
Well,
the Indiana
Nintendo-
Jones game not big
Nintendo
enough for you?
fucked me. Nintendo fucked me.
Nintendo.
You
No.
fucked you. What are you
yourself.
talking about? You're the one who was like, Metroid Prime 4 and an unannounced Donkey Kong game are both coming out this year.
And No Rest for the Wicked,
You
which is
did
early
both of those?
access.
I didn't know that. I
Yes!
did not know that was early access.
He didn't know that. He didn't.
I
know
did not
No Rest
know
of the
that.
Wicked.
Also, like
Me and Ed looked at each other during the draft and we were like, "Oh shit!" No one say anything. Yeah, that was rough. But
That
you
was-
know, look, we all took L's. I got that 3D platformer. I was like, I'm gonna be
Guys.
spicy this year. I got on base last year and won. Now I'm gonna be stupid like Chris Davis.
I
And
do
drafted
just really hope
unannounced
that-
game, and now look at me. Now look
I
at
do
me.
really hope that Chris Davis is the person who takes wild gambles and then
Dude,
wills
also-
something into existence.
I
You
have
want
two
to talk about
unannounced
wild?
games.
You want to talk about wild gambles? Brad counterpicked Space Marine 2.
Okay, that's not a gamble. Shut up.
That's a gamble.
I have
I
two
think-
unannounced games on my list.
That's
I feel
gonna
like everybody here, I feel like everybody who plays in our league this year, if they're wise, would use a super drop to drop one of their counter picks. Like it's been that. counter
No,
picks
but
were that wild.
remember, a super drop is just a 77, right?
I know,
like,
but like there's.
You're
What I'm
still
saying
losing
is,
7 points.
what I'm saying is most people have counterpicked at least one game that I think is a pretty safe bet is going to score higher than a 77.
You're
Which
right,
means
but,
you're going to
but
lose
remember,
points.
Nick, the reason we tried
No.
to balance out that counter pick thing is to make it not be like the obvious choice. And remember, if you drop a game that's actually on your list, not a counter pick, you still have the potential to replace it with something that does score really well. So it is for the people who got really fucked on a counter pick, right?
Right.
Like a Prince
My
of Persia.
point-
A lot of
My point is that the counter picks were so hard this year because there are so many games. It's hard to find a game to take a chance on as far as counter picks go.
there was like
Yeah.
2 givens,
Everybody.
and that was it.
It was tough. It was tough.
Everybody could use their counter pick on at least one of their.
The only safe ones were the
counter
ones
picks,
that
or super
the
drop on the counter pick.
people made against Chris Davis.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
One of those was definitely safe. 'cause
Two
I
of
didn't
those.
know that was early access.
I just hate Carlos, man.
What are you
he fucked
talking
me
about?
last year, Carlos fucked me with Ultra
I'm
Kill.
not. I'm not talking about what Carlos said. I'm talking about what
This
Chris
year-
Davis said, where he said the only risky one is the one that's in early access. Meanwhile, he's got Metroid Prime 4 on his list. What are you talking about, Chris Davis? I'm sorry, you're going to lose.
Look, I want Metroid Prime 4 to come out.
Yeah, I do too, but it's not coming out this year. I'm sorry.
Unannounced Donkey Kong game, though. Come on.
I
Maybe.
unexpectedly, so I had family in town, and Robin's brother was here, and it was one of the first times I've had a chance to like talk to Robin's brother about video games. Because I know he plays video games, but I just haven't had many opportunities. Turns out he's really fucking excited about Metroid Prime. I was like, oh,
Oh, is he? Who is it?
Then we
Yeah,
got-
I mean, it's an old series. But look, the educated, people. I mean, and look, everyone thought the Switch 2 was going to be coming out this fall. And
Yes!
when you believe that, some of these Nintendo picks aren't as crazy as you're making them out to be.
Thank
They're
you, Brad.
insane.
No.
They're
I don't think- I
In
don't
insane.
hindsight, they're crazy because now me and
All
Chris
right.
Davis are both
I mean,
fucked.
maybe
but-
you take maybe you get a wild hair and take a roll of dice on one of them, but two.
Two of them is bold. Two of them is bold.
two of them is
on.
bold.
Metroid
Hey,
Prime
come
and
on.
Donkey Kong?
If the Switch 2 was launching this year, that would be an incredible launch.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's probably not. But here's the good thing.
I rolled
Even
on Mario because that shit would have been like a 97 on Metacritic.
Here's the only silver lining to all this is that there is still a pretty good chance they're going to announce the Switch 2 this year, and there's a good chance they could announce a release date or a window for one or more of those games for next year, and then you can drop them. Oh wait, no, they're counterpicked.
Yeah.
You can't.
My Mario wasn't counterpicked.
Yeah. Welcome to my hell, Nick. Thank you.
You sit here, Chris Davis, and you talk about how great of a launch for the Switch 2 that would be, and all I hear is Lenny talking about the rabbit hutch, man. It's like...
Oh, no.
Crispy, we're broadcasting to Zoomers. They don't know what.
Read a fucking book, people.
No, they don't.
Okay. On that note, let's go ahead. Like I said, it's a shorter show this week. Let's wrap up with the 4-player minute. I'm gonna pass it over to Brad to start us off.
Having somebody else this week.
Crispy, start us off.
How much do you want to hear about Destiny?
I want to hear about it so bad.
Please.
I feel like we've finally seen.
Let's talk
Destiny.
about Destiny without looking at it because it looks.
As is tradition.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to talk about it if I can't show you, but I will. It's pretty cool, man. Been getting some god rolls of those new weapons from the Brave Arsenal they put out. This week they're adding 2 more that I can't remember, but whatever. That's fun. That's cool. I will say that, like, I'm doing a lot of LFG stuff in Destiny, especially this last week. A lot of, like, raids and dungeons where, like, I have to interact with people. And not just interact with them, but, like, talk to them. I have to, like, go into LFG channels on Discords. I have to use the in-game Find a Fire Team feature. And I will say this. The people who play Destiny at 4 a.m. on a weeknight suck. I hate them. They just all suck. Like, they just like I'm one of those people, but it's like, man, you guys are dicks. Like, everyone, it's not great. And Nick, I will say, because Nick, you were like, oh, this is really cool. That looks great. Like, what is it like for new players getting into Destiny? And I will say that is like a that is traditionally a pain point for a lot of people because Destiny is really complicated. It also has kind of a convoluted story. There's a lot of stuff that's been happening, and the new player experience, it's not like Final Fantasy. Remember you tried to play Final Fantasy 14, and they were like, okay, start back here in the 2014 content and work your way up?
Right.
That's not what they do in Destiny. In Destiny, they've like changed the player onboarding experience. You can't play like the original campaign. You can't play like the first 3 expansions. So like, what? Yeah, you're like 6 years behind on the story, and they're just gonna kind of be like catch as catch can.
Wait, so that original campaign doesn't exist anymore?
It doesn't exist. It's called the Red War, and it does not exist anymore. You cannot play it in any form. You also can't play Curse of Osiris, you can't play Warmind, you can't play Forsaken, which Forsaken is one of the best expansions in Destiny's history. It's the expansion where Cayde 6 gets killed. That's also the one that
you're spoiling the story for him?
Yeah.
You can't play it.
You can't play it. You have to know that he's dead. You have to know that he's dead, though, to know that like him coming back in final shape is crazy. Like,
he's got to wait for Destiny Classic to come.
Yeah, he's got to wait for the Destiny Classic.
That's like somebody telling me, like, man, this Halo series is so good, but you can't play Halo 1, 2, or 3.
Like not only that, like the whole game has changed so much over its development. Like it didn't used to have the RPG mechanics that it has now. You couldn't do build crafting. I mean, it's like, yeah, Glegger in chat mentions WoW Classic. It's kind of like that, where like WoW got so many expansions and so much change over the years that like they were cutting out old content and replacing it with newer, like, new player experiences. Destiny did that in about half the time, though. Like, Jesus. Like, it's kind of wild. And the onboarding experience for new players is notoriously like kind of convoluted and doesn't, yeah, it's weird. And they've kind of streamlined it a little bit. This last update, they added a new thing that's like new player kits where it's like you can, like, the big quality of life improvement that they made is that you can skip the new player onboarding and just like go to the tower. You can pick up a kit that's like a subclass, a bunch of legendary gear, and an exotic, and like just kind of go and start grinding out for to hit power cap.
That is
It's
crazy.
wild. It's weird. And when you hear something like that, you might be like, that sucks. But I will say that like the content that you're working towards, the content that you're trying to play at endgame, because the entire game is endgame. Like when you're getting into like I've been playing dungeons that I've never played before. I've been playing raids that I've never played before, and every single one of them, I'm like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. Like it's so much fun. It's so cool. But it's so weird and broken, and I like it's like I'm at a point now in the game where it's like I need a regular fire team to do some of the stuff I want to do, but I can't in good conscience like recommend my friends who don't play. I can't be like, hey, you should download Destiny and play with me. Like I can't do it. I can't even recommend friends who used to play Destiny to come back because it's so different now. Like it's
What a wild journey.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating in a really cool way, but I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of rumors now, and if they're true, we could be seeing Destiny 3 in a few years. So
maybe I should. Maybe if I'm interested in Destiny, I should just wait and then see if I want to jump on the bandwagon with 3.
Despite all of this, it's like world building, it's lore, it's like whole vibe is still like my favorite in gaming.
No, that trailer that we watched during trailer talk tonight was really cool. Like I really liked it.
It's so good. And when you actually like dig into the lore, like when you're going out of your way to read like audio logs and like lore books and like literal like novels worth of information in the game that you can unlock and read, some of that stuff is so fucking wild. Like it's just so cool. I don't know, it's weird. I'll let you know how Final Shape is though.
Cool. Yeah, I think I might just wait and see if we luck out, and then if I want to try Destiny, I'll just like jump on board with 3 and hopefully start on the same playing field as everybody else.
We'll see.
Fuck.
Speaking of cool, Nick,
let's pass it over to Chris Davis.
I'd like to spend my 4-player minute to shout out.
I'm just kidding. It's your turn, Brad. Go ahead.
Lakeith Stanfield is in talks to star in and produce an El Paso Elsewhere film, which is fucking wild. It's like the indie game I felt like only I played last year. You know, like I tried to get other people to play. It was definitely not big, but it was really good, and I love the story. And you know, this happens a lot where it's like, you know, there's going to be a film based on this property or this property, and it's like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But just to see like this game in the news with like, you know, an actor I really like. I love Lakeith Stanfield, and I don't know, like I love that game. Random. It's crazy to see it like a fucking article on Variety or whatever fucking film website, you know, was talking about, you know, Hollywood, mentioned El Paso Elsewhere. It's like fucking double take for me. It's like, really? That's fucking crazy, because who's even played that goddamn game? But hey, man, I believe it. The only thing that's a little weird, right, is it has like strong Max Payne vibes, and Max Payne has a little rocky history with the the world of bad film adaptations, video game to film adaptations. So I can imagine this would be a little more like weird and indie and cooler than that. But
I can't help. I mean,
I'll believe it when I see it.
I do think we kind of live in a golden era of like game to film adaptations, but at the same time, I say that knowing there's only been like 2 really good ones. You could maybe make an argument for the Super Mario Brothers movie being really good because it was just so like authentic feeling. But well, I don't know.
We live in a world like video game to big screen, small screen adaptations. It's the new fucking MCU, right? Just on a smaller scale, right? Like these are,
but they're
taking them more seriously. People are spending money. They're going to see them. They're showing up, right?
It's not the same thing as the MCU because they're not all connected. But
no. I don't mean connected like in that. I mean like comic book adaptations blowing up. Oh, now I feel like video games are the new like, hey, let's
which is
throw
good
some
because
money at this.
we have wanted good adaptations for so long.
Have I? I don't really care
Maybe
about
not,
like
maybe not
adaptations,
you
but
specifically, but I think the gaming community and at large has always, like, if you're gonna make these things, if you're going to adapt them, at least try to make them faithful, to make them quality. And it's just been just failure after failure after failure. So to finally see things like The Last of Us and Fallout, and that even that Mortal Kombat movie they did like a year or two ago was like really cool. They're making a sequel to that, and Super Mario Brothers, like it's happening. Is it going to happen with something like El Paso Elsewhere?
I don't know.
I
Get
don't
the right
fucking
people.
know.
It happens, man. There was a Twisted Metal show.
There, and it was
and it survived. It's getting to
good.
season 2.
You know what I mean? Like it was better than
it
I
was
think it
a
had any
Twisted
right
Metal
to be.
show. Better than it shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Because the game series does not. Yeah,
That
it's
is
wild.
pretty fucked up.
It's wild. I love El Paso Elsewhere. Shout out to El Paso Elsewhere. It's a cool
Shout
game.
out to El Paso Elsewhere.
It's
All
a
right.
shame though that the creator of that game is also like the lead in El Paso Elsewhere, and he does such a good job. But he ain't like big screen material. I mean, he was never gonna star in the film. Like Keith Stanfield, he could do. You saw Judas and the Black Messiah, or
I have.
Sorry to Bother You. I love Sorry to Bother You. He's a good choice.
That movie was great.
Yeah, did you hear about Crispy? You left. El Paso Elsewhere is getting a film adaptation.
What?
Starring Lakeith Stanfield. What? They're in talk
as the main character.
as
Yeah.
the main character. I could see
Fucking
it.
wild.
I could see him do like a noir, killing himself,
That's pretty cool.
with painkillers. I could see it. I like it.
That's pretty cool.
Anyways, that's all.
All right, Chris Davis, your final thoughts.
My final thought is that I might be embarking on a project / experiment with my gaming.
He bought a
next-
boat. He bought a boat.
You bought a boat.
I don't have that much credit, no. But I am buying a house, so I need to save up for closing costs and a bunch of different stuff over the next six-ish months. So what I thought about doing, and I kind of started this week or this weekend, was to start back on my back catalog and then play a bunch of games over the past couple years that I've bought and never actually got around to playing, like Star
Games
Ocean,
that have eluded you. Yeah.
Other things.
Star
like-
Ocean.
Ocean, like the second story one.
Yeah, the
You're
remake of Second
looking
Story.
Enigma, Chris Davis. What the hell? Why'd you buy
Yeah.
that?
Because I'm sorry, Brad. I like having variety and trying different things.
Wait, Brad.
Yeah, but it
you
seems like
get-
a dartboard at a fucking what?
he played Unicorn Overlord too. Like I feel like
That's different. He loves 13 Sentinels. That's different. Star Ocean is a
Hey,
remake
this
of
is-
a PS1 JRPG.
I'm all for it. This is great for
No,
the
it's
podcast.
fine.
I want
I
to
heard it's
hear
good.
Chris
I
Davis's
heard it's good.
takes on some of these games that have passed him by.
It's just wild. It's just wild.
Yeah, it's just stuff I never got around to.
Random. It's random.
So I'm gonna do that. And I started this week because I watched the Fallout show and I enjoyed myself, but I didn't want to play Fallout. So
Yeah.
It's the
What's
exact
the
opposite
appropriate-
experience I'm having. Well, not exact opposite.
So what's the appropriate substitute for me? That ended up being Metro Exodus, the enhanced edition.
Okay.
Because I have a brand new computer. I want a game that can test it, and it's testing it, and it's fun, and that game is really good. And it's also
I saw you.
terribly evil on the highest difficulty level which I'm playing on. But I love this game so much.
That is a pretty great game. Maybe we'll hear about a new Metro game here pretty soon. Guys, we got a new
We've already
Stalker
got a new
game
Metro
coming
game that
out
got
this year.
announced.
Fuck, I
A
keep
new-
forgetting Stalker 2 is coming out this year.
We're getting a Metro game and a Stalker game this year.
Pretty wild. It's pretty
Is
wild.
Stalker coming out? No one bid on
It's
Stalker?
got a date, but like it could still
It's
slip.
September
It's
something.
like August or September. So
Yeah. Like
it could
Like,
slip, but I feel like they're pretty confident at this point.
I think Stalker's going to come out. My
If it
thing
slips, I
is
don't even
that
think it'll slip out of the year. If it slips, it may slip to November or something. You know what I mean?
yeah, if I think I don't think they're going to wait any longer than that. Because granted, my thing is that this is a brand new development studio that's making this Stalker game. Like it's GSC Game World in name only. It's just like what Atari announced today. They're relaunching Infogrames. So like that means nothing,
The name means nothing. Yeah.
but the name means something.
The name in
So-
and of itself has value, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything about the product they're making.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I need to get my hands on it before I can even render judgment. But right now I'm more
Understood.
excited for the new Metro game than that.
Well, we
Get
will
your hands in the
have
dough.
we'll have a chance to talk about that later in the year. All right, my final thoughts for this week, just to kind of jump on what Chris Davis said. I'm watching the Fallout show with my wife, and we're both really enjoying it. And she just finished she's like 100 hours deep in Fallout 3, and I am personally having the itch to play Fallout as a result of the show. I want to play 4.
Sometimes it seems like she's playing all the good games, and you're just playing bullshit, Nick.
I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2, asshole. What are you talking about?
I'm
Yeah,
just
the
kidding.
shit.
So I'm really, it's really putting me in the mood to play Fallout, and I think it might be the fuel that I need to actually go back and finish Fallout 4. So I'm actually getting really excited about doing that at some point. But I'm so far behind. I feel like I'm just struggling to keep my head above water. I haven't touched Rebirth in weeks. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2, and I feel like I'm only halfway through that game, and I'm like 50 hours in. Pacific Drive is just taunting me, and I want to play that game so bad, but I just gotta focus. So that sucks. But I guess really what I wanted to talk about was we're getting closer and closer to Silent Hill 2 getting re-revealed or whatever. And it was in the news this week because they showed something and they changed the protagonist's
they made him
face
younger.
again.
They look younger.
They made him I don't know if they made him younger. I mean, I've never really kind of understood what the community's problem was with the way the character looked in the first place. And I thought the original complaint was that he looked too young to be the character. And now I think he looks even younger, and now people are happy again. I can't
Oh, they're happy.
Yeah, the people
Oh,
are
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, this is a huge improvement." I was like, "He looks younger than he did before," and I thought his age was like the primary complaint. I don't know. I can't keep. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't keep it all straight.
I never thought they were. I mean, I didn't think they were happy. Who's ever happy?
Nobody's ever fucking happy. And I'm Zero Skies. I'm not talking about people in our chat or in our Discord. I'm talking about just kind of the broader community at large. Like a lot of the stuff I've been seeing in reaction to it was like, oh, they fixed his face. He looks so much better now. I'm like, he just looks younger than he did before. But whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we're getting pretty close to seeing a re-reveal on Silent Hill 2, and I'm hoping it shows better than last time, because last time they did that really kind of fast cut combat thing, which is just not what Silent Hill is about, and I think that threw a lot of people off. And I hope they can show us something again when it shows up, maybe in May. I think Sony's going to do something in May or maybe June. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's probably going to show up there. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that when they show it again, it's maybe a little bit more tone appropriate for Silent Hill, if you know what I mean.
I
So
feel like they
we'll see
should
what
have never
happens.
shown any combat whatsoever.
Well,
They
I mean,
should
here's the
just
thing.
hid that until
This is a classic example of marketing people wanting to react to people's opinions about a product, which is the only thing you ever hear people. I mean, not the only thing, but like when people talk about Silent Hill 2 since the beginning of time, or since 2002 when the game fucking came out, like the only thing people fucking talk about is how the combat in Silent Hill is so fucking shitty. And that is true, but it's also like the least important fucking thing. So it makes sense to me that doing a remake, a marketing team as kind of like a goal would be like, yeah, we want to show them that our combat doesn't suck. And it's like like that's great, but like that should not be the focus of your marketing. And it's just kind of a
It's not the focus. They have. I would.
no.
Calling it even marketing is generous. They
No.
barely shown this game.
That trailer that I'm referring to, the last trailer they revealed, was literally called a combat trailer.
Yeah.
That was the whole focus of that trailer, was to show off the combat, and it was a quick cut, so it didn't match the vibe you're supposed to be going with Silent Hill.
Also, the combat didn't look good. So.
I mean, maybe there's to be, but like again, I don't care. Like I couldn't care less what the combat is like in this game, because it's really not what I'm here for. But
All right.
it's just I just hope when they do show it again, they've maybe put their finger back on the pulse. You know what I mean? And read the audience a little bit more. But we'll find out, I suppose, because I think it's going to show back up in May or June. Anyways, that's it. That's our show this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who joined us early when we started streaming at 8 to do our trailer talk. I think it was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed that, maybe let us know in Discord, in the comments on 4playernetwork.com, wherever it may be. Let us know if you like that. I think we might try and get in the habit of doing that before our shows going forward during that usual window where we're just, shooting the shit. So, in the meantime, guys, join us on Discord at discord.gg/4player. You can find all of our episodes on Spotify, Amazon, blah, 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 all those fucking things. Not Google Podcasts. It doesn't exist anymore. God damn it. But we'll see you guys next week for another episode. Be good to each other. Play video games. Good night.
Bye.
791.
791.
Should add that combat trailer, Silent Hill 2 combat trailer to the playlist. We should just have that the ongoing playlist. We can watch it next time.
All right.
What episode is this?
I'll do it. now.
791.
I need that. 791.
Exporting. All right. Man, I was.
Oh, it's called the
So-
combat reveal trailer. They had not shown combat.
Well, right, but
The combat reveal.
you can't tell me that by adding the word reveal, it somehow makes the focus of that
It
trailer
changes
not
it a
combat.
little bit. It changes a little bit. People
You are
probably
so
wondering-
full of shit. Oh my god.
I think it makes it a little bit different. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and I'm saying you're full of shit. It's a combat trailer. I don't care if it's a reveal or if they've already shown it a dozen times. The focus of that trailer is combat.
So I'm close to the end of Metro Exodus, right? And I just got done with the Taiga level. And I was playing through a sequence of that, which you have to go through like a dark bunker filled with spiders, right? And I
That's
realized
lovely.
there's no way they don't include some of that shit in the VR game that comes out this year.
Oh yeah,
And
of course.
that's going to be fucking
Yeah, it's just gonna
terrifying.
be a Half-Life Alex knockoff. I get it.
Hey,
Question.
I'll fucking
you said
take
you were
it.
you said you were going to your backlog, but you played through Metro Exodus before. That's not a backlog game. That's a replay.
I'd always
You
meant
were, like-
to come back and play it. Because I
You're also the
never
most
played
like,
on Ranger
literal
difficulty, and
person in the world, Brad.
Wait. You never played Metro Exodus all the way through?
No, I played it all the way through, but I have played all the games except for this one on the Ranger mode, which is much harder, much more resource intensive. So that's what I wanted to do.
Interesting. Interesting.
I am solely
Well, let us-
responsible for costing 4A games about $40,000 because of their
You are
Ranger modes.
solely responsible?
Yeah, I'll tell you the story.
No,
so when
Is this a long
2032
story? Because I do gotta,
No.
I do gotta go.
It's 45 seconds. It back when 2033 came out, they as post DLC they launched the Ranger mode, which was exactly what I'm describing: harder, more immersive, things
Right.
like that. And the achievements weren't working in some instances. And so nobody had reported it like in 6 months since the DLC came out. I reported it to them like the next day. They said, "Oh, we've identified an issue. We're going to issue a patch."
And did they tell you this is because of your report?
No, but the timing is spot
The timing
on.
is suspicious.
The timing is very
yes.
suspicious. Also, again, patching an Xbox 360 game back in the day like that, I think the number was quoted as like $40,000 per title update. So
Well, that's fucked up, Chris Davis. How
it
dare you.
is, but like, very good game. Everyone
Just
should play
doing your-
Metro. Metro's great.
It's a
Fuck
great
Fallout.
game. Okay, well why does that have to be a thing?
I played that first one and thought it was kind of mid. So
Well, you didn't
Don't take
play
the bait.
Last Light
Don't take-
or the Redux updates that they did.
I started last night and I thought it was kind of mid.
Don't take the bait, Chris Davis. Just don't
It's
take
not
it.
bait. I'm telling the truth.
There was a DLC level for Last Light in which you were in a bunker underground and you didn't have any weapons. All you had was a flashlight and it was covered in spiders and it was terrifying.
Sounds like Amnesia: The Bunker, which is an excellent game that everybody should play.
Yeah, but dude, no, in Amnesia the Bunker you have a gun with a bullet. Like
That is
you
true.
don't have that in this. Oh, it was so good.
It's true.
Terrifying. Because the world isn't ready for a Metro TV show, Slade, because it'd be too good.
Too good.
Isn't that all based on like actual like a movie or something?
It's based
Based
on
on
novels.
a series of books.
And like a film, right?
No, it's never had a film.
Oh, I'm thinking of Stalker.
Yes, Stalker's based on. Fuck, can't remember.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. But it's like it's a bleak like indie film. I don't remember what it was called.
Well, sweeter than homies.
Roadside Picnic. That's what it was. Thank y'all.
The chat saved the day.
Yes.
Nice. Avocador saved the day. Or no, Bog Noise, I guess, was the first one to save the day.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've got to go. It's been a pleasure.
Me too. Good night, y'all. Love you.
Bye, everybody.
Be
Bye,
safe.
bitches.
Yeah. Sonji, yes, they are called humanimals, but honestly, like, there are other games with far worse named enemies than that. So,
Is that true? That's pretty bad. Can you think of one that has a?
Alone in the Dark, 2009. Bats with a Z, rats with a Z, humans with a Z.
Okay, was it like a Z virus or something?
No, did you play Alone in the Dark 2009?
No, I played good video games, but I'm saying
Well-
Humanimals is pretty bad. I still don't think that beats Humanimals.
You need to play Alone in the Dark 2009. That should be a punishment for someone. That is a game that had a good idea, one good idea to experiment with, and it failed across the board.
Sticky tape. Sticky tape. That first demonstration with the sticky tape was like an all-timer though. When they first revealed like the mechanics of the sticky tape. Y'all remember that shit? Sticky tape. Maybe I'll add that to the playlist. Sticky tape. Maybe I will add that to the playlist. Dude, I think we need to get goofy with it. Sorry, what's like the shortest, most embarrassing Nick clip? I want to like surprise him with that on the playlist next week.
Accidental Hitler is pretty good.
Is that too long?
That's like 2 minutes.
No, we need something short, like super short.
Like 20,
I know.
seconds.
What's the E3 video where like I'm way taller than him? I feel like that one's immediately funny.
Yeah, but I think I filmed that for like 5 minutes. So
I know we just watch the first few seconds of it and then laugh and then we skip it.
Bognoy says the E3 Dragon Age one.
What's that one?
I don't think I was around for that.
Tiki tape. All right, I'm going.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Tom? It's almost time to go to bed. You ready to go to bed? You've been sleeping for hours, but I need you to, like, not. Oh, wait 1 second. Hang on. 1 sec. In that, and then we do this. Oh, wait. Where is it? What do I do? Hang on. Why is that not showing up? It's not showing up. Why are you doing this to me? God damn it. Why must you do this to me, Discord and OBS? Well, that works. Whatever. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me, do this. There we go. Okay. Tom, you ready to go to bed? Is it time, my sleepy boy? Yeah. You sleepy boy? Yeah, sleepy boy. Good boy. Okay. All right. Well, I've got work in the morning, and I need to go edit podcast stuff before we put it live. So, yeah, have a pleasant evening. See you in Discord.